You said some things you didn't mean. I'm sure I did that too. Oh, baby. Egos clashing, dreams crashing. Whatever happened to me and you? From lovers to strangers, when everything changes. Oh, baby. When we tear out the pages and only one word is left. Please let's just be quiet until the next riot. Just give us some time for the wounds to heal. What is broken is broken. Let's just leave it for now. We need some perspective just to understand how. What is broken for now. What is broken for now. I think we both need to grow so that we need not to know. Maybe doubt, maybe ask, maybe understand at last. From knowing to asking, from tearing to building, from thinking to feeling, from hurting to healing. Please let's just be quiet and let the silence speak. Oh, baby. Just give us some time for the wounds to heal. What is broken is broken. Let's just leave it for now. We need some perspective just to understand how. What is broken for now. But maybe tomorrow we will know how. Yes, maybe tomorrow we will know how. Oh, maybe tomorrow we will know how.
Dojo, not again.
I'm tryna make my mama proud, that's for sure. Landed in the city, but my heart is on the coast. I don't wanna look back what my life was like before. I just took a red eye, penthouse, top floor. In the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Tryna turn them Bordens into Benjis, needing blue strips. Oh,
walking on the floor, this shirt, no one protects me. Wanna show Shawty my heart, she wanna text me. All this love I felt was a curse, I wanna XD. Going crazy, all of my nerves, who does to check me? All this fun, baby, why you gotta leave me on? Had to drop a bag on her when she gone. But I'm running with my click, yeah, they got me till I fall. Playing it for bags, worth more than your love. Yeah, yeah. Feel my moment, yeah, yeah. I'm the chosen, yeah, yeah. I'm the one inside.
in the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this.
plotting on my swag, you niggas pussy trying to trace it. I don't need your love, I took a perk and I replaced it. I'ma keep on going till my mama said I made it. Black and yellow, white, I got thotties, different races. Did my dirt, I had a mask, I'm moving faceless. I got 12 plotting on me, but no cases. Running from my demons, lacing on my A6. I don't do that fake shit, nah. The way they treat me, they act like I'm feeling them. So I got a script, I was just trying to feel something. Now I'm alone, you don't care, and
In
I
the
feel
stew, I got a
numb.
spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Trying to turn them Bordens into Benjis, needing blue strips. Oh.
I took people's drop boxes. I was like, are you a conservative, ma'am? And like an old lady would be like, yeah, I'm a conservative. And I would fucking deck her, take her ballot and just rip it apart right in front of her face. I was like, you're not allowed to vote this way in California. That's right, bitch. I got a funny one for you. Okay, here, look at this.
With what we were seeing in the polling data going into this election about what people cared about and the order in which they ranked it. So we have had a lot of questions throughout this time about new voters, people that hadn't been in there before that were perhaps not getting captured by the polling. So maybe this is a sign that we're going to see a little bit more of that tonight than we expected.
This.
We obviously don't know yet. And you know what's missing from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 5 issues? Democracy.
It was beautiful, yeah, together. Even though we planned forever. Days of dreams, nights of talks. It was only us together. The world was ours, nothing out of reach. Imagine where we could be. Our dreams is one, hope brighter than the sun. What could ever stop us? Then it all turned, I don't know why. Still to this day, I'm wondering why. Will we ever know? Will we ever get to understand what we both went through? Anyway, I'm thankful for the times I had with you. myself more. And I could never thank you, never thank you enough. I was down when you met me, but your smile wouldn't let me take down on myself, look down on myself. You told me I could, that I should, I would spread my wings and head for the sky. Then it all turned, I don't know why. Still to this day, I'm wondering why. Will we ever know? Will we ever get to understand what we both went through? Anyway, I'm thankful for the times I had with you. I just want to thank you for loving you. Your love made me love myself more. And I could never thank you, never thank you enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a smoke where the match is. I'm a king, fuck your status. Getting dough, I pay no taxes. I'm a star in all fashions of the word, bro. I'ma flip the bird, bro. Coming through in foreigns and all you hear is skirt, huh? All polo and some white shoes. Funny thing now is I'm a nice dude, but when you cross that line, it ain't the right move. But my tender bitch is what I like knows. Oh yeah, can you feel that? I'm giving y'all that real rap. I'ma get the money, make the deal fat. Making hits with a steel bat. The Audi Quattro or that Monte Carlo. Which whip will I whip tomorrow? Got 6 chicks down to sip the bottle. Go coast to coast, I can ship the cargo. I don't really know if these people keep it real. I'm just telling all you fuckers how the homie really feel. And I'm looking up to God, can you tell me what's the deal? I'm just waiting for your answer at the altar where I kneel. I need a smoke where the match is. I'm a king, fuck your status. Getting dough, I pay no taxes. I'm a star in all fashions of the word, bro. I'ma flip the bird, bro. Coming through in foreigns and all you hear is skirt, huh? Let me get the money. I see you bitches acting funny. Can't take nothing from me. Nah, rapping blunts like mummies. Yeah, we freed the homie when he caught a bid. I roll around, you can't stop the kid. Truth be told, I'm hot as shit. Just say what up when you spot a kid. Real talk, I'm trying to speak the truth. I stay loyal, bro, to my roots. Since 15, I've been in the booth. That's 16, I was on the move. Used to ride in that old Chevy. Ready, I can see the bull, you're so petty. You can have your shine, my glow heavy. I need a smoke where the match is. I'm a king, fuck your status. Getting dough, I pay no taxes. I'm a star in all fashions of the word, bro. I'ma flip the bird, bro. Coming through in foreigns and all you hear is skirt, huh?
Don't like me, 'cause I'm on the road, yeah. Alright, let's go. Don't like me, well I'm on the road. I speed, chase, that's what I love. Can't see what I can't control. Did it once, yeah, do it once again.
She says that she loves me, she just wants to fuck me. Got me feeling something, got me feeling nothing. Alcoholic junkie, says she thinks I'm funny. Think I might get lucky, spending too much money. She says she wants my necklace, put her on the guest list. Hope I don't regret this, hope I don't regret this. I'm feeling hella reckless, cashing all my checks rich. Hickeys on my neck, shit, she's on the offensive. I do not know my set list, still I'm gonna get lit. Yeah, I have it.
Hello. What's up, Internet? How's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Just chilling, I guess. Sorry. My head still kind of hurts, which is a bitch. And I hate that. I hate that for me. But what are you gonna do? I'm just cursed. Cursed to have headaches forever, I guess. Cheers to American healthcare. Lots of crazy shit going on. A really big, like major dam in Ukraine got blown up. Everyone's blaming each other. Classic. Classic. Might talk about that if we can get more information on it soon. All day I've been hearing people speculate, like, oh, it was Ukraine, oh, it was Russia, like, I don't know. We don't really know, honestly. It could easily go either way. It really could. So I'm sure there will be investigations. I mean, we may never know. Also, that's an option that we just never know. I don't know. I don't know. Twitch is like trying to tank the whole platform, I guess. So that's fun. That's fun for us. Fucking, I guess we're doing stop and frisk because it literally is fucking 2012 again. I don't know. I thought we proved that this didn't work and just led to harassment, but Eric fucking Adams wants to do it again. Stop and frisk 2.0. Fucking NYPD. God damn it. And then there's more Cop City stuff. Shit's so fucked. I think yet another protester got killed since I last talked about it. Maybe two. Honestly, I haven't been able to keep up with all the news on it, but I have two things. And then I just want to chill with masterbaker. That's like most of the docket. So let's do it, shall we? I didn't get to smoke before we started, so I'm gonna smoke now. As we talk about this, because I know it's gonna make me so mad. It's gonna make me so mad.
Monitor Mylan Durenstein said the NYPD's Neighborhood Safety Team Special Unit deployed in the past 14 months to seize guns in high crime areas were engaging in, quote, unconstitutional policing by stopping and frisking too many people without jurisdiction. Now we talk, Republicans always talk about we're a nation of laws, but when laws are being broken like this, they have nothing really to say. But let's just go back to what the Monitor had to say about this. In one police precinct, only 41% of stops 32% of frisk and 26% of searches were lawful. The neighborhood safety teams, a replacement for anti-crime units that the NYPD disbanded in 2021, operate in 34 areas that account for 80% of the city's violent crime, largely communities of color. Of the people the teams have stopped, Durskin said 97% are Black or Hispanic. Now, this reporting is coming from the Associated Press. They go
Yeah, we know this. Why the fuck would you bring this back?
on. Durenstein said she began her review after Adams announced in March of 2022 that the NYPD was deploying neighborhood safety teams in some precincts to combat gun violence. Team members wearing modified uniforms and driving unmarked cars conducted stops, frisks, and searches in their assigned neighborhoods. Now, despite training and experience, officers assigned to neighborhood safety teams overall appear to be stopping, frisking, and searching individuals at an unsatisfactory level of compliance. Too many people are stopped, frisked, and searched unlawfully. We all should be concerned about that. A spokesperson for Mayor Eric Adams says city officials have serious concerns with the methodology that the monitor used and that they only learned of her findings after news outlets reported on them. Now, I'm curious to know, Max, why they didn't kind of know that ahead of time, especially if you are trying to alleviate pressures and do a new type of policing, reimagine policing, and we need to do that all over America. But to me, it's quite telling that they weren't even aware of the monitor's findings and really did not take a attack, at least in what we know the comments were about her findings. They didn't take a let's try to work this out, let's try to figure this out kind of tack. They were really seemed offended.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you don't find when you don't look. And that's really what the city's been doing for decades. I mean, the NYPD is an $11 billion behemoth in this city. It is clearly out of the control of anyone to regulate. The mayor is already struggling now, not only with budgets, but also with accountability and enforcement of rules. It's essentially a body that chooses how it is governed. And that acceptance of that as the status quo is what holds our city back. Unfortunately, police unions have a lot of money and they've been very effective at keeping progressives out who want to say not no police at all, but maybe restore the balance a bit more to something that actually involves communities in community policing.
That's exactly right. And it helps law enforcement too. It just makes it creates a stasis. It makes it safer for law enforcement officials. It makes it safer for the community. When the community feels in partnership with its police departments, it's better for everyone. And why wouldn't you want to do it that way?
Stop and frisk, rebranded. They're selling it to you again. Let's put the picture up full mass. Yeah, we knew this would eventually happen. New York Mayor Adams, NYPD neighborhood safety teams, that's what they're calling the new stop and frisk program. They are now given charge with keeping illegal guns off of the streets to carry out. They are going to carry out a high number of unlawful stops at largely target Black and Latino New Yorkers, according to a damning federal monitor's report filed Monday, the landmark NYPD stop and frisk case. The court-appointed watchdog overseeing the NYPD's controversial stop and frisk tactics in years-old litigation, Millen Dannerstein, examined the constitutionality of these stops, the frisk and searches performed by covert anti-crime, in quotes, teams disbanded by Mayor Bill de Blasio and resurrected by Mayor Adams last year when he took office. The report found 24% of the stops were unconstitutional. Now, that should be troubling on face value. Without getting into the particulars of your ideology, 24% are considered unconstitutional. Well, what does that mean? That means during the process of the journey through justice, meaning the courts, many of those will get thrown out. They are not able to be prosecuted successfully. There's more. Citing the results as disappointing, the federal monitor found the units who wear modified uniforms, similar to security guards and ride in unmarked cars, to be the least compliant of all officers on patrol, and department oversight to be inadequate at all levels. Well, look at that cause and effect relationship. The people who believe they are special among the special, and they get to wear a special uniform and drive a very special car. And they do not have the oversight of other officers because they are very special. These cops are the number one violators.
Special.
You see, this is the dimension of culture versus policy. Remember, those officers in that unit, they fall under the same exact policy as every other cop. However, the findings are damning. It shows this specialized unit, well, they don't follow the rules. No, nor are they forced to. There's more. Too many people are stopped, frisked, and searched unlawfully at the precinct level. Sergeants, lieutenants, and commanding officers failed to identify and correct the unconstitutional policing. Bernstein wrote in the Manhattan federal court filing. The mayor pledged to ensure guardrails protecting against mistakes of the past, like requiring the teams to undergo training on constitutional policing, dress in a modified uniform, and wear body cameras. Well, good for you. You don't think they know how to treat someone decent? Okay, we're going to give them a constitutional class. We're going to give them training. We're going to give them a special uniform. That'll do it. And what else? Well, oh, yeah, wear body cameras. Well, here's the problem. If you don't enforce the rule of wearing body cameras with absolute penalty, when they cut them off or when the footage gets lost, what happens? Well, nothing. The mayor said the job to do the oversight would be done by the federal monitor who issued Monday's report, who would make sure we are doing it correctly. Adams spokesman Fabian Levy on Monday said that the mayor has serious concerns with the methodology used by the monitor to produce the latest findings. He did not elaborate on those concerns or explain why the mayor's previous trust in the monitor had eroded. The report notes that the NYPD agreed with most of the monitor's assessment, citing a breakdown of findings the department accepted and contested. Of course, any unconstitutional stop is unacceptable, and we will strive to do better for New Yorkers every day. As Mayor Adams always says, the prerequisites to prosperity are public safety and justice. Let's pause just for a second. The prerequisites to prosperity, public safety, and justice. I can go with you there, Mayor. Do you not find it to be a violation of public safety when officers violate the rights of citizens? Who is public safety supposed to protect? The citizens or an industry? What is public safety protecting? The rights and freedoms of people, dear brother. That is what public safety is. Policing is a methodology that should...
Yeah, in theory, but it's never actually been that in practice, not in America.
...get you to a place of public safety and protect the public safety values. Now, some will argue, well, Doc, it may be effective. Think about this. You know what else will be effective? And I disagree on the notion that it's effective because it allows individuals who would be dangerous, it allows them a pass because you're looking at black and brown folk only. But here's the reality. If you decided to take all the guns away right now in America, guess what would happen immediately? Less people would be shot and killed. Less children would be shot and killed. No, we can't do that, Doc. That's a violation of our constitutional right. You're damn right it is. It is. I agree with you. If the government came in your home, took all of your guns, yes, it would make the nation safer from gun violence, but it is not worth eroding the rights of the everyday person to get that result. You see, we're fine picking and choosing which demographic we're willing to violate to reach a particular goal. There's more. Neighborhood safety cops involved in self-initiated encounters had reasonable suspicion to stop people 69% of the time. Meaning they stopped 3 out of every 10 people illegally. Illegally.
So fucked.
They had a legal basis for only 63% of searches. Out of 230 car searches, the teams recovered 2 damn weapons. 2. The report found the team in the 41st precinct, which serves Hunts Point and Longwood in the Bronx, to be the worst offender. Only 41% of stops, 32% of frisk, and 26% of searches were actually legal. That is called significant constitutional violations of people who live in New York. Don't let them play this game with you. They will tell you this is the only way they can do business. It is not. While conservatives will fight hard to make sure gun manufacturers are protected, that common sense gun reform is never a reality, no matter how many children die. Because they say, well, it's protecting a fundamental right. You know, you also have the right of life. You have the right of liberty. What about those rights? All right. Sharon, thoughts on this?
Mayor Adams is acting boldly as if he was elected with some kind of mandate. And I think he's probably looking past the mayorship. He wants more and is perhaps drunk with power, but he's starting to live up to his SNL parody, Dr. Ritchie, and it's really a shame. No black, no white, just another example of how there's just blue, and too often, once a cop, always a cop. And I just wonder if he's calling this specialized team the Scorpion Unit. You just watch. Yeah. He should call it the Scorpion Unit. We know how that works.
Fucking classic. Classic. Oh my God. We won't learn from history even from like 5 years ago, bro. God damn it.
Worked out.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. He likes branding things.
Well, we begin today's show in Atlanta, Georgia, where residents shattered the record for turnout at a city council meeting Monday, as thousands lined up to voice their opposition to the construction of a massive police training facility known as Cop City. Atlanta police enforced enhanced security as people signed up to participate in a public comment session ahead of a vote to approve $30 million in additional funding for Cop City, bringing the total to $67 million, more than double the original estimate. It would be the largest police training facility in the country. This comes after an Atlanta police SWAT team, guns drawn, raided the Atlanta Solidarity Fund last Wednesday and arrested 3 people who'd been raising money to bail out protesters opposed to Cop City, charging them with money laundering and charity fraud. Georgia Democratic Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock criticized the arrests in a statement Sunday, saying, quote, "While we still don't have all the details, as a pastor who's long been engaged in justice work, I'm concerned by what we know about last Wednesday's show of force against the organizers of an Atlanta bail fund and the questions it raises," he said. Those arrests come as 42 protesters face charges including domestic terrorism for opposing Cop City, and after Atlanta police...
Domestic terrorism. How about you charge the fucking cops with that, huh? How about that? What about that?
Shot dead the environmental activist Manuel Tortuguita Terán in January. An autopsy shows they were sitting with their hands raised up in front of their body when police shot them 57 times. This is Muskogee Indigenous leader Neko Chabon addressing the Atlanta City Council on Monday.
I am a part of the Methodist structure. I have been a part of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. I have been with conversations of human rights all across the world. I have walked with refugee camps in other parts and other nations of indigenous peoples. I've seen situations just like what we're going through here in other countries. I've seen things going on where people have been killed, just like what we're trying to say should never happen here, all over the world, and I don't want that to increase. Every time in these countries, I shared with them, no matter what, how you slice it, the increasing of more militarized mechanism never establishes a peaceful society, no matter what. It never accomplishes what your hopes, what your arguments are. In fact, it does quite the opposite. In fact, our community, we are already living through the living proof of that at this moment. Today, I think it's obvious. I don't support Cop City.
Monday's Atlanta City Council meeting started in the afternoon and continued for nearly 15 hours until about 5 a.m. this morning.
God damn.
At one point, protesters broke out in song as public comment continued.
Holy shit. That's a lot of fucking dissent, and they still have fucking approved 67 million.
Recess has expired. Recess has expired. Recess has expired.
Get fucked. Fuck your end of recess.
Ultimately, at about 5:30 this morning, the Atlanta City Council voted 11-4 to fund the Cop City facility. For more, we go to Atlanta for an update. Marlon Counts is with us, an organizer with the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, who was one of the 3 people arrested last Wednesday and just spent 4 days in jail. Also with us, one of the first to speak during Monday's public comment session, Reverend James Woodall. He's a public policy associate at the Southern Center for Human Rights and co-author of Wired for Racism: How Evolution and Faith Challenge Racial Idolatry. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Reverend Woodall, let's begin with you. When you arrived at the Atlanta City Hall to give your public comment, can you talk about the different level of security and protocol to enter the premises that you'd ever experienced before? Just describe the scene for us and then what you said.
Most definitely. Well, first, let me start by saying thank you for having us on the show today. And when we entered Atlanta's City Hall, we were met with bomb dogs. We were met with officers donning AR-15s. We had folks in riot gear. We saw a heightened level of security, both in protocol, meaning when we entered into the City Hall, we couldn't even bring in food or water. And people were planning to be there literally all day and all night. And to not even be able to bring in Gatorade. I had to throw my Gatorade out and I had to walk out of the City Hall, throw it out, and then come back in. And you know, it took a miracle, essentially, to be able to even bring pizza in towards the latter portions of the afternoon and into the evening. And we saw law enforcement officers really on every single level of the City Hall in the inside of the atrium. And so I had never seen that kind of activity in which our law enforcement response would essentially, criminalize in some ways what we were trying to do, which was to lift up the voice of the people.
And Reverend, I wanted to ask you, the mayor of Atlanta has claimed that much of the opposition is from outside agitators and a white movement. Could you talk about your own history in Atlanta and why you got involved in this movement?
Oh, for sure. I'm a 6th generation Atlantan. In fact, my grandmother's granddad, his dad, purchased property in the heart of the west end of Atlanta off of Finley Avenue for essentially $83 without a mortgage. And so our family has been in the heart of Atlanta for almost a century. And so, and I'm talking before the Emancipation Proclamation, and several dozens and hundreds of other people. In fact, almost every single person that we saw and heard from last night and yesterday afternoon was from Atlanta. Now, granted, there are people who are not from Atlanta as well, but who cares? Because at the end of the day, what we're fighting for is liberty and justice for all, which they pledged their allegiance to for the flag of this yet to be United States. And so if there's injustice anywhere, there's a threat to justice everywhere. And unfortunately, again, democracy has failed us because that is just simply not the case. And so when I think about what the mayor said, in fact, I'll even tell you, is that the mayor's mother taught my grandmother how to do hair, which taught my mom how to do hair. And so when I think about how I got involved in this work, and I'm seeing what's happening on the ground each and every day inside of our facilities, I'm seeing, you know, children and college students pulled out of cars and being tagged and not laser tagged, but essentially targeted for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm seeing people literally die at the hands of law enforcement, both here in the city of Atlanta and surrounding these counties and these communities. Because this is not just about the city of Atlanta. We're going to see departments and agencies all over this nation.
Yeah, they're going to make, like, several more of these. I'm sure of it.
Send its people, send its law enforcement and first responders here to train on urban warfare. And what we saw last Wednesday, what we've seen over the course of the last few months as relates to domestic terrorism charges is concerning and is exactly the kind of
imagine your local police department, which is probably already over-militarized, and then also they have a training facility worth at least $100 million. I don't know how much they've poured into this project at this point, but yeah, just imagine it's so much worse, so much fucking worse. But like, yeah, it's just like gangs on steroids, like.
Reason why we stand in complete opposition to this project.
And this was a marathon meeting of the Atlanta City Council. Your response to the outcome and the vote, and did you get a sense that any members of the City Council were moved at all by the testimony?
Well, what I'll tell you is that is an example and is indicative that our democracy has died. And the spirit of democracy has died because when the people show up and you see both parties, this isn't a red versus blue, Democrat versus Republican kind of issue. We saw Republicans come out in opposition. We saw libertarians come out in opposition. You saw Democrats come out in opposition. You saw people who are not affiliated with any of the above come out in opposition. And when you see elected officials choose the side not of the people, right, not of justice and liberty for all, but when you see elected officials take the side of corporate executives and nonprofit leaders who seek to profit off of taxpayer dollars, right? What we should be talking about is charity fraud on behalf of the Atlantic Public Foundation because of what we've seen them do and how the numbers have just not added up. And so I'm concerned that our democracy is dead because our elected officials are not representing the people regardless of who they vote for.
I wanted to bring in Marlon Kautz into the conversation with Reverend James Woodall. Marlon is with the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, one of the 3 people arrested on Wednesday. This was just days before this critical Atlanta City Council vote, where they voted to approve what's now more than double the amount originally proposed for this police facility. Marlon, if you can talk about, how unusual the level of force used was in this raid on the Atlanta Fund, which not only has helped people who've been arrested around.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, the police raided the Atlanta Bail Fund coordinators, who obviously help protesters get out of jail for exercising their right to protest. The fucking irony. I wonder why they're protesting. Oh, I wonder why.
The Cop City. But you do this around for many people who have been arrested.
Absolutely. Yeah, in terms of the raid, it was terrifying, obviously. And you'll have to forgive my voice. I'm still feeling the effects of the better half of a week in the DeKalb County Jail. But, you know, we woke up to the sound of our door being broken down by a battering ram and our house being surrounded.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Atlanta Solidarity Fund.
By dozens of SWAT officers. And my first reaction was that this has to be a mistake. You know, naively, I thought this wasn't the kind of thing that could happen to organizers like us. But once I saw the automatic weapons, the body armor, and I heard police discussing throwing a flashbang into our living room, I realized that these police had come prepared to kill us. In the same way that police have come prepared to kill activists protesting in the forest, and in fact did kill Manuel Tortuguita Terán. And you know, so we quickly surrendered. We were arrested in our pajamas and taken to jail. So the experience was terrifying on two different levels. In this immediate way of what it was like to face that kind of police violence for doing nothing more than, you know, non-violent.
Literally just organizing fucking relief for these protesters. Like, what the fuck?
Work to support the rights of protesters. But also on this higher level of what it means, right? Because if this kind of police violence can be brought, even against organizers like us who, you know, who do nothing more than make sure that activists have access to lawyers, who make sure that they're able to make bail if they can't afford it themselves. If this kind of violence can be brought against people like us, who is safe in this city? And what does that mean for the right to protest and democracy?
And Mona, what happened at your bail hearing on Friday? What was the judge's response to your arrest and the charges against the three of you?
Yeah, I mean, after days in jail, we finally got in front of a judge who confronted the allegations against us, the arrest warrants. And the judge very quickly acknowledged that the charges are baseless, they're nonsensical. We're being charged with charities fraud and money laundering. And you know, the activities of our organization are completely legal. They're transparent, they're above board. We very carefully follow all laws and regulations related to our work because we know that we are in the crosshairs of many political forces. And the judge recognized this and fortunately issued us bail, which has been unusual in these protest cases, which are usually denied bail flat out. And I think this shows that the efforts of prosecutors to demonize organizers associated with the movement against Cop City are beginning to be exposed. They're beginning to become unraveled and shown to be what they are, which is malicious political prosecutions that have nothing to do with enforcing the law, keeping the public safe. What they really have to do with is bringing the force and violence of police and prosecutors to suppress a political movement, to suppress political speech.
As we begin to wrap up, I wanted to ask Reverend James Woodall, you're deeply concerned about issues of police brutality and abuse of power. This is a police training facility. Now you have Senator Warnock also weighing in, deeply concerned about the raid on the Atlanta Solidarity Fund with weapons drawn by a SWAT team. But if you can comment on why you are concerned about a police training facility, isn't that what you would want, police to be trained better?
It's exactly what I don't want, because when we think about police training, we're not talking about police training. We're talking about an infrastructure project. We have yet to talk about what they're being trained to do. In fact, if you were to look at it, and I've been in this work a long time, and every time we talk about police training, we're talking about a furthering urban militarization of law departments or law enforcement officers. We're not talking about de-escalation. We're not talking about ensuring that there is equitable accountability for law enforcement officers who disregard the training that they were already invoked in the earlier parts of their career and continuing in their professional development. We're not talking about the fact that every single officer in cases of police brutality and police involved death in the last 10, 12 years, and then that's just a...
Exactly, yeah. Like he's saying, that's just the fucking beginning. That's just the beginning. Like, they can't even de-escalate. Like, how the fuck exactly are they, you know, serving and protecting? Like, why reward them for their bad behavior? It doesn't make sense. It's like, the money for training, it doesn't go into de-escalation fucking training. It just goes into more fucking, like, combat fucking training.
A small segment of the history, but we're not talking about the fact that they have been trained, and they've been trained very thoroughly, and yet these people still are dying. And so what we were organizing around in 2020, what we've organized around after the murder of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, after the deaths of Tatiana Jefferson, and so many others, I can go down the list. What we were calling for was accountability and true justice. And this $90 million that people are saying is necessary for us to have better policing really is an insult. Because what we're not saying is that we want to build a system of public safety that's inclusive of all of us, not just law enforcement, because that is the political football that people can throw so that they can win elections. This is what that is about. We have an Attorney General in Chris Carr who led that raid on Atlanta Solidarity Fund, who's trying to posture himself to run for governor. We have a governor in Brian Kemp who signed off and endorsed that action as he tries to promote someone run for president and himself possibly for the United States Senate. We have Senators Warnock and Ossoff who also weighed in only after a lot of immense pressure on behalf of organizers who were pissed off that they refused to say anything at all. And so what we have right now is not about training, it's not about public safety, and it has everything to do with the political aristocracy that refuses to acknowledge the pain and the reality of everyday life for everyday Georgians and everyday Americans. That is not democracy, that is not leadership, and that is so totally not public safety.
Reverend James Woodall, I want to thank you for being with us, Public Policy Associate at Southern Center for Human Rights, co-author of Wired for Racism, How Evolution and Faith Challenge Racial Idolatry. And Marlon Kautz, thanks so much for joining us, of the Atlanta Solidarity Fund. One of 3 members of the bail fund arrested last week during an armed police SWAT team raid, spent 4 days in jail.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, your daily dive into the news, and there's a lot of news to talk about today, so let's just jump into it. Starting with, we've got massive breaking business news today. The PGA Tour and its major rival, Live Golf, just announced a merger today. And a key thing, even if you don't care about golf, this is a major deal that you need to know about. Because not only did these two have an all-out civil war in the industry, it's brought up serious questions about sports and human rights. All right, so let's get into specifics without getting caught up in the weeds. The PGA Tour organizes the top golfers into paid tournaments, usually across the United States. And Live Golf is a golf league, but they're backed by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, or the PIF, which notably is controlled by the Crown Prince Mohammed Bonesaw. And those two organizations have been at each other's throats for months. Live, with their deep Saudi-backed pockets, have been luring players away from the PGA Tour with hefty paychecks. And with that, you have the PGA banning players who left to join Live Golf, also kind of seeming to orchestrate a shame campaign against them. All of this leading to lawsuits with the organization suing and counter-suing, each accusing the other of anti-competitive practices. But now, very key thing with this merger, they've agreed to drop all of the litigation. But again, the real controversy here goes back to Live Golf's Saudi backing. Because in the past, and I'm talking recent past, human rights advocates and the PGA Tour themselves claimed that the Saudis were just trying to improve their international reputation by throwing wads of cash at popular sports, something many call sports washing. With just a year ago, the PGA commissioner calling The Live Golf organization, quote, a foreign monarchy that is spending billions of dollars in an attempt to buy the game of golf. Additionally, the big names in golf that were signing on with Live were questioned about the moral implications of their choice to support a league backed by a country with such a terrible human rights track record. And seemingly the moral questions of what's right and wrong led to golf giants like Tiger Woods reportedly turning down Live contracts worth between $700 and $800 million. I mean, at one point, you even had the commissioner of the PGA Tour on fucking TV talking about 9/11 families speaking out.
Expressing their outrage towards the golfers for participating in the new league and accusing them of sports washing and betraying the United States, end quote.
And saying,
as it relates to the families of 9/11, I have two families that are close to me that lost loved ones. And so my heart goes out to them. And I would ask, any player that has left or any player that would ever consider leaving, have you ever had to apologize for being a member of the PGA Tour?
But now, where's all that talk with the PGA Tour seemingly forgetting about this morality argument and taking the money? Because as far as where we are now, the PGA Tour, its European League, DP World Tour, and Live Golf will reportedly be joined into one entity. And notably, it will be chaired by the Saudi governor of the PIF with the PGA commissioner as the CEO. And the PGA Tour is saying that Live players will be welcome back following the 2023 season. Which obviously, hey, we don't know all the details of this deal, but at the very least, one, it seems like the people at the head of the PGA Tour are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. It's amazing how all those moral concerns just evaporated because in your hands, all of a sudden there's a big wad of cash. But also, two, I have to wonder what many of these golfers actually feel right now. And I mean that both for the golfers that went for that big paycheck over at Live, who were publicly shamed by fans, by the tour, and now they get to just come back, as well as players that said, no, I'm not gonna take life-changing amounts of money because I have certain morals. And what was your reward? The fucking bigwigs scooped in and got your checks. Fuck the PGA Tour. You stand for nothing, motherfucking pussies. You act like you stand for something, but then when Mohammed Bonesaw opens up his wallet, you have no issue going into business with the people that killed Jamal Khashoggi. You have no issue going into business with people that helped perpetrate 9/11. Go fuck yourselves forever. But hey, that's the story, my takeaway, and I'll pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts in general, but also especially if you are someone who is a fan of golf? And then, if YouTube did what Twitch just did, I would be losing my damn mind. I'd be calling for a boycott and industry blackout, because Twitch just announced a number of rules regarding branded content, but some of the rules include some of the most anti-creator guidelines I have ever seen. Right, so first up, you have things that make sense. Creators have to disclose branded content on their streams. Yeah, transparency, honesty. Repeated failure to do so can lead to a suspension, with Twitch's website even saying they added a disclosure tool to the creator's dashboard. They also announced limitations in what you can promote, and a number of the things there can be understood, right? Hateful or illegal products, certain gambling products, spams and scams, right? You can't go on stream and be like, hey, you want to get in on the initial coin offering for my DeFucko coin? It's going to the moon. It's definitely not a thinly veiled scam. Also not allowing products like weapons, adult-oriented content, tobacco, certain financial services, medical products, political content, and more. But the biggest thing, and this is where I would lose my mind, streamers are no longer allowed to insert burned-in video ads directly into their streams, nor can they insert display or audio ads. Instead, streamers can do things like, yeah, they can play a sponsored game, but if you have branded images, you have to put them somewhere on your channel page. And I gotta say, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous, especially for a platform that's no longer having to just deal with like YouTube's big ass, but with places like Rumble and Kick offering major cash to streamers, which is why we've seen people in the space like Carl Jacobs saying this is directly Twitch trying to force the hand of streamers into allowing their sponsorships to go through them, giving them a cut of the payout, calling it another brain-dead attempt at becoming profitable at the expense of the streamer, and saying was firing hundreds of talented people not enough. Asmon Gold asking, you can advertise alcohol but not politics? Get the fuck out of here. With him also saying creators should seriously consider boycotting Twitch and that he might be moving to other platforms himself.
I will move to another platform. Non-exclusively, I will still stream on Twitch occasionally. If this goes through, I will actively start pursuing a deal.
Jacksepticeye saying one more nail in the coffin, as well as creators like Cutie Cinderella wondering how events like her streamer award, which was just...
Sorry, chat. I just got my pizza and I want to eat it. Like a gremlin, like a little goblin. So I'm gonna do that. But, this is fucked up. This part is fucked up, because, like, yeah, like, the Streamer Awards was sponsored by Twitch, and they had burned-in ads. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Maybe they would have to have, like, a special contract with her, but, like, this still seemed like a little bit much. Although, I also think people were freaking out too much. But they did already roll it back.
it's massively successful, could that even exist within these guidelines? I mean, Twitch had Moist critical in all, saying it's actually impressive how Twitch manages to make the most dogshit changes imaginable. He also had other big reactions like Brooke of 100 Thieves saying, so insanely out of touch, I will never understand it. Why are they so against creators making money? And even Mr. Beast chiming in saying, hey Twitch, how about instead of handicapping what creators make, you help them make more? Seems more logical. And even floating the idea of doing a live stream on Kick as a form of protest. You know, when I look at this whole situation, it's one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen a social media company do. And I understand, like, when a social media company makes any sort of announcement or change, there's sometimes overreaction. This is not that. While every creator's business is different, you know, how much money they make from this thing, that thing, it changes. If YouTube implemented this change, my show would just be done overnight. Which is why when I see Twitch doing this, it's like they're pushing their creators into the arms of people that want them badly. Because if they're not pushing people to YouTube, you have Kick and Rumble just catapulting money at creators. And actually, with this developing story, a last-second update, this happened as we were uploading today's show. Twitch, I imagine, with egg on their face and slumped shoulders, made their way to a keyboard and wrote, today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors. We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in video and display ads on Twitch, which is consistent with other services. We missed the mark with the policy language and will rewrite the guidelines to be clearer. I'm sure you just misspoke. This definitely isn't a piss your pants, try and walk something back situation. But hey, let's see if enough people believe them or if this calms people down. And then I want to give y'all a quick update on a story that you may not have even realized we covered, because I covered it on one of our TikTok channels, which, by the way, there are 4 of them. Look, ooh, wow, check it out. See, this is a not so subtle plug. We share bite-sized shareable versions of the stuff and show, as well as a number of exclusives. But on one of those, we posted and then removed this video about the Air Force and an AI-enabled drone. And that video is based on an article from the Royal Aeronautical Society that had covered a recent summit they had. A summit where Colonel Tucker Cinco Hamilton, the Chief of AI Test and Operations at the United States Air Force, spoke, with the Royal Aeronautical Society writing. Said Hamilton, we were training it in simulation to identify and target a SAM threat. And then the operator would say, yes, kill that threat. The system started realizing that while they did identify the threat, at times a human operator would tell it not to kill that threat, but it got its points by killing that threat. So what did it do? It killed the operator because that person was keeping it from accomplishing its objective. And saying Hamilton went on, we trained the system. Hey, don't kill the operator. That's bad. You're gonna lose points if you do that. So what does it start doing? It starts destroying the communication tower that the operator uses to communicate with the drone to stop it from killing the target. So we and a number of outlets saw that and ran with the story because of the direct quotes. But then after the video went up, the Air Force refuted Hamilton, claiming the Department of the Air Force has not conducted any such AI drone simulations and remains committed to ethical and responsible use of AI technology, and saying it appears that the Colonel's comments were taken out of context and were meant to be anecdotal. But also, I'm not sure how Hamilton's comments were taken out of context. Or he said what he said at the time, and it wasn't until later he claimed that he misspoke, that being the key reported word there, and claiming what he meant to say was that the rogue AI drone simulation was a hypothetical thought experiment, and saying that experiment was conducted outside the military. And going on to add, we've never run that experiment, nor would we need to in order to realize that this is a plausible outcome. Despite this being a hypothetical example, this illustrates the real-world challenges posed by AI-powered capability and is why the Air Force is committed to the ethical development of AI. And while with that, you have some saying, the whole situation feels sketchy, of like people saying things and then walking it back and then claiming, hey, it was a misspoke or taken out of context. Once he claimed that he misspoke, we took down the video. And I wanted to make sure that we updated the situation here on the main show, especially as other random social media channels have been ripping that video and just sharing it with no update. And then massive union and strike news, with members of the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, approving a strike authorization vote by 97.91%. Now, to be clear, this does not mean they are guaranteed to strike. Rather, it gives union leadership the power to call for one should negotiations with the studios fail by the time their contract expires at the end of the month. But this news should not be undersold because it sends a message to the studios, especially amid the ongoing writers' strike, with SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher saying, together we lock elbows and in unity we build a new contract that honors our contributions in this remarkable industry, reflects the new digital and streaming business model, and brings all our concerns for protections and benefits into the now. Bravo, SAG-AFTRA, we are in it to win it. As far as what the union is after here, they want to restrict AI use, increase streaming residuals, and impose limitations on self-taped auditions. With Variety also noting that the union's choice to authorize a strike is an unusually aggressive move.
Yo, all of Hollywood is on strike right now. Like, all of it.
As they haven't gone on strike against the film and TV industry since 1980, which is also why some feel the odds of a strike actually happening are less likely. But then, if it does, it'll be incredibly powerful, especially as the writer strike's already shut down so much production. Right, so if the actors join them, then basically that means anything that's even open right now is shut down. Because yeah, the director's got a deal, but then you'd have no actors and no writers. And then, is there a serial killer prowling the streets of Portland? That's the question many Oregonians are asking themselves right now after a string of suspicious deaths over the past few months, with the remains of 6 people, all women, all under the age of 40, being discovered across just a few counties. And while the cause of death for the first body, which was found back in February, is still being investigated, the second, found more than a month later, was ruled a homicide by blunt head and neck injuries, with 2 more then being found on the same day, with at least one of them being probed as a suspicious death, as are the next 2 cases. But now, after much speculation, the Portland Police Bureau has denied the serial killer claims, saying while any premature death is concerning, PPB has no reason to believe these 6 cases are connected, with them pointing the finger at news outlets and social media for spreading anxiety and fear in our community, saying that the rumors are not supported by the facts available at this moment. And so for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what all information comes out, as well as, what are the facts that they're referencing there. And then, Oklahoma just greenlit the first ever religious charter school in the country, with the school in question being online. It's called St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School, and reportedly it'll be run by the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Oklahoma City and the Diocese of Tulsa, and have religious teachings incorporated into its curriculum. But because the school is a charter, which is just a public school that's independently managed, it'll still receive public funding. Now, notably here, some religious schools do receive a certain amount of public money, like Hasidic school.
Dude, fuck that. What the fuck? No. What?
Schools in New York that get government money for some programs but also charge tuition. But St. Isidore is different because it's going to be fully funded by the government. And that's a key thing to know, because this situation is actually massive, because it sets up a huge constitutional battle over whether taxpayer money can be used to pay for religious schools, with at least one group already promising to fight this in court. But that's also exactly what the people who support this move want. Right? In recent years, there's been a growing conservative push to expand taxpayer-funded alternatives to public schools like vouchers or tax credits to help families pay for private tuition, including at religious schools. And that effort to blur the line between church and state and education has made serious progress both at the state level and in the Supreme Court. I mean, just in the last 3 years, the conservative high court made 2 rulings that religious schools can't be excluded from publicly funded tuition programs like vouchers that let parents send their kids to private schools. And so what we're seeing are supporters of this move in Oklahoma trying to test if states can directly fund religious schools, rather than indirectly through things like vouchers. But notably, this move is highly contentious even among conservatives, with St. Isidore actually only being barely approved in a 3-2 vote by the Oklahoma statewide virtual charter school board. And that despite the fact that the board's composed of members of the GOP-held legislature and people appointed by the Republican governor who have pushed for religious charter schools. And among the board members who voted yes is one who was literally appointed on Friday. And beyond that, even the Republican Attorney General of Oklahoma opposed the move, warning that it violated Oklahoma's constitution. So obviously, this is a very divisive subject. I'd love to know your thoughts, but really, you should expect no shortage of stories like this, because as we've seen over recent years, everyone's kind of in a let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks with this new conservative high court. And then Ron DeSantis appears to be sending planes with migrants to liberal cities again. Over the last few days, 2 different privately chartered flights with a total of 36 asylum seekers landed in Sacramento without any advanced warning. The first arriving on Friday, the second just yesterday. And while as of recording, DeSantis and other Florida officials have been totally quiet on the matter despite basically every news media outlet reaching out for comment, top California officials are certain that DeSantis is behind this, with the authorities saying that the migrants on the first flight were carrying documents that said that their travel was administered by the Florida Division of Emergency Management and the contractor Vertol Systems Company, as well as the Office of California Attorney General Rob Bonta saying the contractor behind the Monday flight appears to have been the same contractor who transported the migrants last.
Dude, this pisses me off so much. These are fucking human beings. You're just shipping them to the other side of the fucking country for a prop, for a photo op? Fucking demons, dude. Absolute demons.
Last week, and adding, as was the case the first time, the migrants who arrived today carried documents indicating that their transportation to California involved the state of Florida. And very notably here, Vertol is also the very same contractor that DeSantis used to fly nearly 50 migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard last fall. With one of the craziest things here being, just like with the whole Martha's Vineyard situation, the migrants that DeSantis is paying to fly to California were literally not even seeking asylum in Florida, nor did it seem they had been in the state at any point. In fact, according to California officials and flight trackers, the groups both began their journeys in El Paso, Texas, and then were taken to an airport in New Mexico and then flown to Sacramento. And so with this, you have California AG Bonta saying the state is launching a full investigation into the matter and will pursue the possibility of taking
Yo, that's what happened last time. I swear. It was the same shit with Martha's Vineyard. It was the same exact story. They went first through Texas, then they got sent to Florida, and then fucking to Martha's Vineyard. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god.
criminal or civil actions against those involved. With him going on to explain that the state is still determining the appropriate legal response, but noting, quote, key elements are individuals moved under duress or deception or misrepresentation being lied to, and adding we've learned that many of them were told that Vertal's systems would help them find jobs if they got on the plane and traveled to where they were being taken, and saying we learned that many of them didn't know where they were being taken and didn't know where they were until they arrived. And very notably here, Bonta also said that possible charges could even include kidnapping. And actually on the noted charges, just yesterday, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office announced that it's filed a criminal case with the county's district attorney over the migrants DeSantis has transported from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard. Now notably here, the Sheriff's Office didn't identify any suspects named in the case, but it did say in a statement that the filings allege several counts of unlawful restraint, including both misdemeanors and felonies. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plays out both in Texas and California. And then, what's the better way to introduce this story? Bad news if you're a fan of heroin, or the war on drugs has been a success, but it's thanks to the Taliban. Yikes. Because you may not know this, but for years, Afghanistan has produced over 80% of the world's opium, which then in turn produces about 95% of heroin in Europe. And in fact, during its occupation, the United States tried to eradicate poppy, the plant which makes opium, by bombing farms in Taliban territory, burning opium stocks, and raiding drug labs. And those efforts were largely unsuccessful, but early last year, the Taliban supreme leader announced their own shot at banning poppy, saying anyone caught growing it would have their field destroyed and be punished according to the group's interpretation of Sharia law, citing as their reason both their religious beliefs and the harmful health effects of opium, with one of their spokesmen even claiming that 4 million out of 37 million of their people are suffering from drug addiction. While the 2022 harvest was exempt from the ban, with the UN saying production even grew by a third over 2021, after the past year of Taliban squads destroying entire poppy farms, we're now seeing its impact on 2023's April harvest. Y'all, the numbers here are staggering, with one expert using satellite data estimating that poppy cultivation is likely to have been cut down by over 80%, with the BBC even reporting the Taliban leaders appear to have been more successful cracking down on cultivation than anyone ever has. Now, as far as the impact, we're still gonna have to wait to see what it's gonna look like, and that's because reportedly it usually takes between 12 and 18 months for Afghan poppy to reach European markets as heroin, so it may take a while for the supply cut to impact the street price, a price that's reportedly been at a 20-year high, though it's also been falling over the past several months. And actually because of that, as well as there being drug seizures in neighboring states, it's been suggested there's actually a large stockpile already in the system. Also, it's widely believed this isn't going to impact the number of people using drugs. Or even if heroin becomes less available, experts say that Western consumers might just turn towards synthetic drugs instead, which is a trend we've already seen in the US, which is actually even worse since fentanyl, for example, is 50 times stronger than natural heroin, which among other things makes overdose deaths more likely. And so you're seeing European governments bracing for a possible opioid crisis and remembering the last time the Taliban abolished opium in 2000, with that causing a heroin shortage in Europe, and not long afterward you saw fentanyl surfacing there for the first time ever. And then moving east, Afghan narcotics have long been trafficked through Pakistan to consumers in China as well. So we've also seen experts suggesting Beijing should help Afghan farmers transition toward alternative crops as part of its Belt and Road initiative. But possibly those hardest hit are going to be the Afghan farmers themselves, because their reliance on the narcotics market has only increased since the Taliban takeover, because you've got Western sanctions cutting off foreign aid and trade. And even though you have the government pushing them to grow substitutes like wheat, they say it's far less profitable than a cash crop like poppy. With one farmer explaining, if you have no food at home and your children are going hungry, what else would you do? We don't have large pieces of land. If we grew wheat on them, we would make a fraction of what we could from opium. And regarding the Taliban leaders putting all this in place, something to also keep in mind is that you have analysts speculating that some may actually be personally profiting from the poppy ban by keeping their own private drug portfolios as the restricted supply bumps up the price. But even further, you have some saying the Taliban's war on drugs could backfire. And that's because poppy production is a key source of tax revenue, and the economic shock to regular people could cut into their base of support. Though also how much that cuts in remains to be seen, because how much of that base of support is really just fear. And then Vladimir Putin's just collecting war crimes like I collect Pokemon cards, with the most recent incident involving the Nova Kakhovka Dam being blown up today, where the dam sits on the major Dnipro River between Ukrainian and Russian front lines, though technically Russia's been considered to be controlling it because its operation buildings are on the Russian-controlled side of the river. But this damaged dam means that millions of cubic meters of water are going to be flooding into the lowland areas downstream, which include parts of Ukrainian-controlled Kherson and upwards of 70 smaller towns and villages. And really the only silver lining is that the dam wasn't just like completely erased from the earth and only part of it was destroyed, meaning that all the water didn't just come rushing down and people were able to evacuate. Now with this, there is a mystery of who did it, although there is a reason I say mystery. Obviously, most are leaning towards thinking Russia blew the dam, with there being claims they've mined it since October. And notably, the flooding would slow potential Ukrainian advances in the region both directly and by creating a humanitarian crisis. Russia, as they do, claims that Ukraine did it in order to cut off fresh water from Crimea, saying without this water it means that the vulnerable Kerch Bridge is really the only viable waterway. And so some well-placed strikes could really put the squeeze on the peninsula. But regardless of the claims over there, the locals here are screwed. Tens of thousands on both sides will need to evacuate, although it's unclear how much Russia is helping locals under their watch. And farmers on both banks are going to be screwed as the flooding destroys crops and the lowered water levels behind the dam means way less irrigation for crops. And that's already had an impact on the markets. Because of Ukraine's status as a major grain producer and the damage this flooding will likely do, grain futures are up like 3%. And it's really not until the scale of this flooding becomes even more clear that we're going to get a better understanding of how just horrible this is. And that is where today's daily dive into the news is going to end. Thank you for watching, liking, being subscribed to this channel, and do not worry, because my name's Philip DeFranco. Franco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.
What if I said, there's a person that went to Sonic, the restaurant, bit into a hot dog, and all of a sudden there was $100 worth of cocaine inside of their mouth. Well, that's exactly what happened according to, the facts. Let's put it up, full mask. Jeffrey David Salazar, 54 years of age, a cook at a Sonic drive-in in New Mexico, was arrested last week after a customer allegedly bit into a hot dog ordered from the fast food chain and found herself with about $100 worth of unwanted, that's the important part, unwanted cocaine in her mouth. Salazar was taken into custody on Thursday and charged with 1 count of felony possession of a controlled substance, according to a probable cause affidavit. First responders arrived at the scene and located the adult female customer who claimed to have found illegal narcotics in her hot dog. She reportedly told the officers that when she took a bite of the hot dog, she tasted a foreign object in the food. When she spit it out, she reportedly saw it was a small plastic baggie containing white powdery substance. It was not immediately clear whether the customer ingested any of the substance, the report states. The footage from inside of the restaurant, the video footage from inside the restaurant kitchen allegedly showed the cook, Mr. Salazar, making some kind of transaction with another Sonic employee, police reportedly wrote. Salazar then appears to go back to his job of preparing food. However, soon after the alleged transaction, police reportedly said Salazar stopped what he was doing and began frantically searching the area as if he had lost something. Per KOAT, police said that Salazar's behavior indicated that he may have lost the small baggie that was found in the customer's hot dog. In a follow-up interview with investigators, police say that he actually admitted Salazar
May have lost it. Whoopsie, I just misplaced that. My bad. I'm so just careless. My bad. Whoops.
admitted that the small baggie contained cocaine and belonged to him, allegedly claiming that he purchased the narcotics from someone in the restaurant parking lot, according to a report from Fort Worth NBC affiliate KXAS-TV.
The fuck?
The supervisor at the Sonic location reportedly refused to comment on the incident when reached by the NBC affiliate KOB-TV. All right, it's a hell of a story. All right, very dangerous for the person who bit into it, because I guarantee you, if she would have ingested 2 or 3 grams of cocaine, well, that would have been problematic, to say the least. So it created a severe danger to a customer. The element of him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be like chewing the bag. So it's like a relatively small risk, but like, yeah, that's still fucked up. Can't mix up your hot dogs. Can't mix up the Coke dog and the hot dog.
Having drugs at the job, well, not a good idea, obviously. And when it was lost, it's somewhere. Somebody may actually know where it's at, or perhaps it's lost in a food bucket. And that's exactly what happened. It was dropped inside of food. Sharon, I've heard a lot of stories in my life, but someone buying a random hot dog at Sonic and all of a sudden getting a $100 cocaine surprise, I have never heard of before.
I haven't either. Does Sonic have something new on the menu?
Right.
But as someone who likes to cook and is often distracted and multitasking, you might get an eggshell in the scrambled eggs. I might forget an ingredient, but I too have never dropped that stash in a hot dog.
Right.
Okay, something new on the menu.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Something new on the menu.
That's right, we're going back to the Demon Zone Manosphere YouTube Shorts. I want to make this a regular series just so we can keep tabs on what's going on over there, keep tabs on those red pillars, see what they're saying, see how these arguments are evolving, and see the all new Wet and Wild ways they're reinventing misogyny for the YouTube algorithm. Obviously, they're not reinventing anything, they're just finding new ways to package it and sell it to an audience of men. Without further baboo, let's bump in.
What about you?
I love the podcast. It's super cool.
We love you too. Oh my god.
It's a little obviously like misogynistic, but that's already like I already knew that going on.
Oh no. Oh no. Look, I don't care who you are, what you believe. Saying that on this podcast is a mistake. Unless you're prepared.
Is she wasted?
To go to war. I see where this is going and it's not gonna be fun for us.
Misogynistic, but that's already like I already knew that going on.
You triggered my trap card! Define misogyny.
I mean, at least he's honest that he's about to trap her. Very transparent there with the agenda.
Define misogyny.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Placing men above women.
Is that your final answer? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Maybe a little bit.
No, it's the hatred and/or contempt of women.
Oh yeah, hating and feeling contempt for women definitely doesn't place them lower than you. Those are two totally different definitions. This lady got it all wrong. She's so wrong. Just a silly lady.
So what did we say that was misogynistic? Please explain. Please tell us.
Oh my god. Seriously.
Oh my god. Please tell us what was misogynistic.
Bro. Fucking mansplaining misogyny.
Oh my god. So you made a claim that you can't even back up. Yo, honestly, no offense, you're lucky you're pretty, because you're dumb as fuck. But anyway, we'll move on. You are.
That's exactly what I mean. You're
Like-
saying that I'm stupid because I'm pretty. That's
No, you are
misogynistic.
stupid. You are stupid, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure, guys. Doing not a great job of beating the misogyny allegations there. Just calling a woman stupid for not playing your little debate lord game. Fresh and Fit are some of the more prominent members of this community. But there was something I saw recently that I feel like could shift the cultural viewpoint of these guys. Obviously not from well-adjusted human beings that can recognize immediately that they're fucking weirdos, but from the people that watch them, which was their like deeply racist tirade they went on about when they were in like a little content drama with Abba and
So bad.
Preach. Clips like that remind me of like the Sneeko Moist Critical thing or Just Pearly Thing's relationship with Nick Fuentes, how it's pretty uncritical. All little straws on the camel's back of the death of the Red Pill movement, in my opinion. That's my prediction, but who knows? Could be wrong, could be totally wrong. Just my hypothesis. You're lucky you're pretty because you're dumb as fuck. That was fucking everything. Found a stupid woman. Oh, found a stupid woman. She's so stupid. Oh, she's stupid and pretty. Oh, even worse. Here we have a Brett Cooper reaction, the Daily Wire astroturfed right-wing streaming content market void filler. The show is called The Comment Section because most of it is her reading comments from the comment section because she has zero funny, interesting, insightful, charismatic, or any other positive descriptor thoughts. That it's just fully empty.
It's giving lavender batty with the space batty glasses and the gloves and of course the inches and the belly. If you guys are partying, be safe tonight and have fun! And last but not least, Happy New Year's, besties!
I was just informed that that is a man. Normalization has gone too far. Just saying. That's just all I can say.
I am tired of Earth.
It is all you can say because you don't say shit on your show. You just play movie clips. Damn! Damn! Me when I watch Brett Cooper and want to puke because it's so boring. But yeah, what's up with this just being like really mean to some random person for doing a video, a silly video? People that go online and post videos like this while being fat and like gender non-conforming are braver than the troops. Boundless cruelty, just boundless. Fully normalized cruelty, just being cruel to some random person because of how they look and how they present.
Somebody said bro is 5'11" horizontal. Another person said day 24 of asking you to run at full speed. I want to see that, but with the tiny like weird glasses. That would please me.
Thanks, Brett. Thank you, Brett, for your input. Love Brett. You know, always bringing out the good, bringing out the laughs. She's also one of 10 of the failed Hollywood actors, a part of the Daily Wire, which I always think is hilarious. Deeply untalented people that turn to right-wing grifting to make money, and it works. They make money, but they'll never make anything that's good. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
I think the ultimate thing...
The car clips never get old, man. Cash cow talk. I'm a cash cow, baby. Love making some money off of women bad podcast clips.
I can do a little psychoanalysis that might be preventing someone like you from attaining your dream girl is you have this block where you think so much about body count, so much about her being a high value woman.
So you're saying I'm going in with what? Too much expectations?
I don't even think it's expectations. I think it's judgment. A little like too much judgment instead of taking into account all these other things. You're focused on these like minuscule things and you're
minuscule?
I mean, you're just not taking, you're just saying body count.
This guy sucks so much, and it's not even because he's a deeply insecure, misogynistic guy. Obviously, that's the case. But because he just can't hold his own in a conversation. His voice falters. He looks around instead of directly engaging with the critiques. And then once he shuts everyone up, he finally gets his soapbox moment, and he just goes, body count is important because promiscuity.
Minuscule?
I mean, you're just not taking, you're just saying body count. That's like so.
It's like, bro, if you're going to be misogynist, at least get good at it. Top 10 least effective misogynists in my book. I remember when I was like looking into this podcast, going to the guy's Instagram, and there's a bunch of comments from guys being like, hey man, you know, I love that you're being like a misogynist and it's great for the program, but can you please like get more masculine? Because you're making us men look bad by being so soy. And as a dude constantly under fire with the soy allegations, you know, I think that's great because being soy is okay, but not when you're an alpha male podcaster. It's just quick and easy way to piss off the target demographic.
That's like so physical. Like, you're not.
You're focused too much on the past too. You're not really focused as much.
There he goes. Listen to these ladies talk. They are so dumb, right?
Women be talking, am I right?
Producer behind the computer with no microphone.
Here's what's so funny to me. I think women are unaccustomed to hearing men communicate and articulate their preferences, standards, and boundaries. Women are the queens of going for exactly what they want. You guys have laundry lists of criteria that a guy needs to meet.
This is one example of the preferences thing being a cudgel against criticism. I don't think I made a good argument in my last video about this. I wrote on the screen how preferences are sometimes a double standard and how that's the problem with them, but I don't actually think that that's the case. I don't think there's necessarily a moral element to someone having a preference for someone who hasn't, you know, had a lot of casual sex or a lot of sexual partners, because you could imagine a scenario where they themselves aren't experienced and might feel intimidated or like they want to start out their experiences with someone that is similarly inexperienced. I think there's probably a case that something like that is probably fine. The issue is the majority of the time body counts are being mentioned, it is as one method to police women's sexuality, where a man having a high body count is cool and dope, and a woman having a high body count makes her a slut. And cultural norms like that can affect your preferences. So these women aren't saying you can have preferences, they're just saying they might be worth criticizing. All that is to say, you know, preferences are preferences, sure, but why is also an interesting question to ask sometimes. I think the main thing the body count stuff stems from is just like insecurity. It's just plain and simple insecurity. Patriarchy instills in men intense feelings of competition. Like, of all the people this person has had sex with, maybe there's someone that's better than me. Couple pointers there, get good. And the person is deciding to have sex with you, not
Get good, literally. Just get good.
Not the other people that might have been better. But it's not a race, you know? Just give and receive nuts. That's all. Simple tips with Noah Sampson.
I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place.
Oh my God, we just found the most British person on earth. This is what happens when you put 10 queens into a blender and then out pops this lady.
Equality, an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that.
So it looks like she's going off the legal definition of equality, which means once all the rights were evened out between the genders, legally speaking, that is when equality is reached. But obviously, aside from the fact that legal rights haven't been won in many places in the world, it's kind of like that argument that conservatives make where they say that because the civil rights movement happened, racism is gone. It's illegal, so people don't do it.
This would qualify as a racist institution, the state of Alabama.
Show me the law. You've named an institution you don't like, now show me the law.
Which is, of course, a little bit silly. That argument is a little bit different, though, because as she's about to go into, many of the advantages in society are shifting away from men, but not for the reasons she thinks, I think.
Feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonization of males. I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago, where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. What was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls.
So what she's talking about here about boys falling behind, especially in education, is 100% true. By pretty much every metric across all age groups, boys are testing worse, dropping out at higher rates. Girls are around twice as likely to graduate at the top of their class. But anyone who's trying to blame this phenomenon on something like feminism is grossly oversimplifying the issue. I'll leave an article linked in the description that references a book. It's called Of Boys and Men that looks at some of the potential causes for this. But long story short is it's complex. Changes in the requirements for labor markets, social expectations of boys not adapting to a changing world, and attempting to paint a causal link between these changes and what she calls the demonization of males is a very ideologically driven perspective. And also there have always been subsets of the feminist movement that have exhibited that sort of perspective. That isn't anything new. I've heard this argument from several women who are a part of the old school feminist movement, and the modern feminists attacked these women as well. I mean, a bad argument is a bad argument, right? And also, how are arguments supposed to be counter-argued for if every time you do that, it's being framed as an attack? Baby behavior there, big crybaby energy there. Look at how The Simpsons changed how they treated Bart. It used to be, he's a troublemaker because he's...
What? You're kidding. You're fucking kidding me, right?
He's genuinely smart, but the school system isn't built for him. And yeah, he's got some growing up to do, but he is growing up. Look, he's going to law school in the future. Now, anytime we cut to the future, Bart is presented as more and more of a loser. Meanwhile, Lisa, whose worldview has been utterly coddled by the show, is constantly being told that her potential is being wasted and needs to be nurtured, despite the constant support she gets. Okay, look, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't keep up on the Simpsons lore, so if anyone does, can you please fill us in on whether this is true or not? I just love that first line, though. Just look at how the Simpsons have treated this poor boy Bart. Thanks, feminism. The boys notice we just get called trash when we call it out. Obviously, a feeling is being communicated here and being connected with by other people. This comment has almost 10,000 likes. But I do think one aspect that's worth taking into account here is that there's a difference between calling out how feminism is making your life harder and calling out looking for support from those around you when you are struggling at work or in school. I think the men being called trash are probably mostly the former, but also it still is for many socially unacceptable to do the latter. And that's patriarchy, baby. Get it out. Get rid of it. All right, on to the next.
What is the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman, and what's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
Okay, so I'd say the most romantic thing, I'll just use my own marriage, for instance. Obviously, for a woman being able to cook and clean, but I'll give some more specific examples like what I do.
All right, here we go. In a vacuum, someone professing their desire to cook and clean and take care of a home and be a traditional wife, you know, that is fine. I think that's fine. I think some might consider that choice feminism. I don't necessarily think in a vacuum that that's a good judgment on this phenomenon. I also think it opens up a big counter argument because there are still a lot of people that fall into this category that it's their preference, even though patriarchy has instilled that into them somehow. I don't really know though. I'm not that well-read of a guy. But the difference here is that this person is professing these values on a podcast that hates women, that wants to see women put in their place, that wants to see women chained to an oven. And so the only reason you'd want to do that is probably social capital. That's why everyone's on these podcasts. Maybe she runs a tradwife account. I don't know. But you know their reaction already from hearing her. You know what they're going to say and what the comments are going to say.
Being able to cook and clean, but I'll give some more specific examples like what I do. I wake my husband up with a massage and coffee every single morning, and every single night I'm scratching his scalp and like giving him a back massage until he falls asleep. It's important that he falls asleep first.
What? Okay. No, I take it back. I'm wiping his butt. I wipe his butt for him because he loves it. She's describing taking care of a baby. Change his diaper and give him a pat on the belly. The girl's face as well. Look, she's like, what?
And I would say something that's romantic that he does for me. Well, since I do all of the
And then I burp him.
cooking, it's nice when he takes me out for dinner because it's like a little break and it's just special. And then also even just while we're here in Miami, he's kind of like my little bodyguard, like making sure if there's any men walking by, he just like puts his arm around me and just making sure that I'm protected. That's what it's really romantic, and that's something that a woman could never do for a man.
W.
The fuck? The fuck? I feel like in general, 2 people are safer than 1. Like, what do you mean?
Wow. Just terrified of pedestrians. Every man on the street is going to attack my wife, and for that reason, I have a gun holstered in my hands at all times. For the inevitable cringe lord commenters, self-defense is important. Why are you hating on self-defense? I'm not. It's just funny to imagine people in board shorts and sandals walking by and you thinking they're gonna hit your wife on the head with a giant King DDD style hammer. It's just funny. That's all.
Fantastic. Wow. I like it.
You are blessed.
I think a lot of women should really take heed to what you're saying. It's really great
Some very good
stuff.
points. Both you guys.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the term pick me. I've talked about it before, but this unambiguously going on a men's podcast to brag about how you rub your husband's chin until he falls asleep and burp him like a baby. This is wild. This is the best possible example I've seen. And I think that's super fun. And that's why he's walking around protecting you like a bodyguard. Can't even blame him. He knows exactly what he has. Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't cook and clean, so when someone's about to jump her, I just step back because I would only do that if I had somebody like her. These are the women that I would go to war for and die to protect. Me when I am doing war crimes to protect my women at home who actually is not affected by the fact that I'm doing war crimes. No, but I think a lot of men have this sort of protector fantasy. Oh, World War II. Those men went out there to get the Nazis so they wouldn't come get their wives. And whatever, fine, everyone has their own fantasies, right? But a lot of these gender dynamic fantasies are really divorced from reality. It's a lot of things that you wouldn't actually practically have to deal with. Because cooking and cleaning is something that has to happen every day, and I would guess that this woman has never been jumped next to her man. And it's not because he's a big tough guy, it's just because that's a really rare thing. So much more rare than daily home labor.
You go up and you punch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the face. He's stronger than you.
Why? Why? Ooh, I can't wait to hear this one. Pearl. Thanks, Pearl.
Why do women get an excuse? If a weak man hits a strong man and gets hit back, nobody feels bad for him. Why is it that if a weaker woman hits a stronger man and she gets hit back, he goes up to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, big jack dude, and hits Dwayne first? Yeah. Nobody is going to feel bad for him when he gets knocked the fuck out because you shouldn't have messed with him. Why do women feel like it's acceptable?
So this is another example of this philosophical idea that gets thrown around as a men's rights point. Equal rights, equal fights. Women should be able to get punched in the brain if they hit men first. And on first blush, you know, violence is bad. Someone getting attacked, regardless of who it is, might want to defend themselves. But is punching someone back the same as defending yourself? Especially if you're a bigger, stronger man? You know, it probably isn't. But more importantly, you know, this hypothetical could not be more divorced from reality. The vast majority of domestic violence goes in one gender direction, and that's not to disparage the male victims of domestic violence, but only one of these things is brought up in these spaces as a talking point, and that's the violent fantasy of men hitting women back. As if that's something that hasn't been happening in society for not billions, for a long ass time. Let's just say that.
The question to ask is the amount of money that you two girls are making on, is it worth giving up a family and love? Because any man that is worth his fucking salt that you would even be attracted to wouldn't put up with it. I can tell you right now. And you, my dear, are a depreciating asset.
Whoa, what's up? First of all, with this music, crazy frog ass beat.
My dear, are a depreciating asset.
But also, bro, you're a weird guy. You're a strictly weird motherfucking guy. I tell you right now, you ain't gonna do this crap. This guy went on that Jubilee video, I'm pretty sure, and he was so quiet. He was so quiet. But put him in a room full of like 19-year-old college girls, that's an alpha male right there.
Now, and you, my dear, are a depreciating asset. So every day that goes by, you're going to be less and less beautiful. And at some point, there's going to be a history of you doing that. As beautiful as you are, you're stunning, you're a pretty girl. But no man that is going to be in your league is going to put up with it.
I think this guy skipped that part of kindergarten where they teach you that people are different and that that's okay. What he's saying is him and his boys don't like OnlyFans girls. Him and the men he knows aren't into that and would judge a woman for that. But you know, not every person is the same. Some people value different things and other people have more open feelings about sex work and so on. So he's walking around projecting his values onto every person he sees and getting mad, actually, because people defy his values. And that's really messed up of them to do.
And so the question is, if you were truly in love and you had true desire for a man that would put his foot down with you and tell you how it was going to be, would you or would you not give up your OnlyFans?
No, I wouldn't. Same way if I wanted to really expand my dating pool.
Then you do not genuinely desire that man. you would not be in love with that man.
Good job
Because
to
if
love the
you were
man.
in love with that man, you would shut it down, and that day will come for you. It'd probably be way
Again,
down
why
the
don't I
road.
put on a hijab? Because then I can find a man who actually reciprocates. Because Muslim men lower their
Any
gaze when other
man,
women
any man that asks you
walk
to do it
by.
and you say no to, you're gonna look at as a pussy. You will not respect him, and you will not love him.
I know what you want more than you know. I know better than you know about your own life because I'm in a black tuxedo. And it's so funny how threatened they are by the fact that
God, I can't even listen. I just tune out. I just glaze over my eyes and I go to a happy place. I fucking can't.
someone's a sex worker, they're openly a sex worker, and that doesn't disqualify them from meaningful relationships. Oh my God, it doesn't disqualify you. I'm gonna poop my pants. I'm gonna poop my pants and wear a black suit. Once they get a taste of the money and attention, the idea to focus on just one man is damn near impossible for them. I have a YouTube channel that gives me money and attention. I like those things. Does that hurt my ability to focus on one person? No, it doesn't. Stop being so judgy. You're being so judgy. She honestly believes she can go change your outfit, who's who, and be viewed differently. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if that was what was said, but I think the whole point is that you can date people that aren't going to judge you for your profession, and that's kind of a prerequisite to being in love with them, you know? Someone that's going to judge you for your actions, if your values don't align in a relationship, you probably won't fall in love. But if they do, aside from their judgment of your status as a sex worker, then yeah, I don't think that's such a bad thing to say, nope, no thank you, next.
She gets up and she says, Patrick, this is very hard for me to say this. And let me tell you why it's very hard. I said, what's that? She says, ever since in high school, I wanted to prove to men that I can beat them. So when I graduated high school and college, I opened up my salon. We do very well. I've made millions of dollars. My people and my work that work at the salon, they do very well for themselves. I drive a nice car, I have a nice house, I have money, I have millions. I don't worry about any of that stuff. You know what decision I made last night? I said, what's that? She says, I want a husband. I no longer want to compete with men. I need them. And I'm like, what?
Wow, this sounds like, there's someone's life story that shifted over time. Someone who pursued money in a career and then had a change of heart. I wonder if this will be weaponized to denigrate feminism. Let's see. I wonder. There's probably not, right?
She's saying this in front of 2,000 people with her sister sitting right next to her. Wow. And now she's getting emotional. How many 65-year-old women do we have to hear saying that I marched with the feminist movement and I bought into the fact that men are the enemy? I've never been married. I'm alone and I'm miserable and I wish I would have never bought into that philosophy.
That's a nice alternative to a dating app. Just do a speech where you say that I'm a millionaire and single and looking for a hot bod. Raise your hand if you want me to take you out to dinner at $1 million soup organization. The best thing about buying into this philosophy is that you can always unbuy into it by downloading Hinge. Like making a decision for your life that you end up wanting to change, isn't that like a pretty normal thing that happens? I get his point here is that they're brainwashed by feminist ideology to do things they don't want to do. But if the whole time she was doing that and obviously doing it for a reason, then she changed her mind, is that the worst thing in the world? I mean, that's just how life is, you know? I don't know. Maybe someone else has a better counter argument to this video, but I think it's just fun. I also like the lady listening on being like, wow. Harrowing story. Just, ooh, damn.
Men got the right to vote before women because men were subject to military conscription.
Fucking Brian, bro. I don't want any more Brian, his little voice and his little crap. Also, tell me this isn't the most dripless person you've ever seen in your life. Red flannel, stars on the hat. Patterns are going nuts, going all over the place. Decide on a pattern and stick with it, buddy.
Men, if you elected a representative to represent you in the government, that representative could then vote to send you to war. Men, being the exclusive, let's say, victims of forced military conscription, ought to have more of a right and a say. And men got a privilege.
You could cut this clip a little bit tighter, just saying. Speaking as a video editor, just cut out the places where he starts a point and then doesn't finish it and goes to a different one. Just cut that out. And then it might put up the facade that he is competent.
And that privilege came with a corresponding responsibility. That corresponding responsibility was you have to go to France and die in the trenches. You have to go get trench foot. You have to go get chemical gassed by the
Trench foot? Did he just say trench foot?
Germans. That was the corresponding responsibility. That's how men got the right to vote before women.
3 times he said corresponding responsibility. Look, I know I'm not really responding to anything he's saying here. I'm much more criticizing the form than the content itself. But damn, man. Damn! I'm also trying to figure out if this is an actual Ben Shapiro reaction or if someone just put a video on loop. Like in Ocean's 11 when they put the vault security footage on loop to trick the guys into not calling the thing. This is tricking viewers into thinking that Ben Shapiro gives a fuck about this video and agrees with or disagrees. I don't even know. There's no indication that Shapiro has any reaction here. He's just staring. Imagine trying to have a serious conversation with a girl wearing pink cat ears. Yeah, it's called being an adult. It's called being an adult, bro. Have a conversation with a person regardless of how they're dressed. Oh, you have pink cat ears. Oh, this is too triggering for me. I can't even talk to you. Yeah, well, fucking grow up, buddy. Some people wear pink cat ears. You can't handle it? Scary? Too scary? Also, there's no serious conversation going on here. He's doing a monologue. They're cutting back to the girls who aren't saying anything because he's rambling, but it's not a conversation. Let's make that abundantly clear. Also, yeah, if we take into account the fact that military conscription is still, I'm pretty sure in most countries, male, he's making a women shouldn't vote argument. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the implication here, right? I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of this crap.
You really, in your heart of hearts, believe like a woman who's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to like apply these conservative values and give it a good go. Like, learn to bake, you know.
Learn. Me on my first sourdough experiment. I'm a Republican now. Pretty sure this guy went viral recently for being like pro-abuse.
If there's someone that's very, very young, might be really religious and like values marriage a lot and goes into a marriage and has kids when they're like 18, 19, 20, and then a year into the relationship, it gets really, really...
From who?
Would you... From both.
This is so rare.
Anyone
So
really.
rare.
I mean, it happens.
Go on.
My point is, I'm just, even though it might be rare from what you guys think,
it is.
if it would happen, what would you recommend for those people to do? Would they divorce, or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going. You can't divorce. I mean, that's not a real thing. You can like separate. See, his Catholic background shines through. He knows. You can't divorce. You can separate, but you can't actually divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick in the relationship.
People are just. People nowadays are just pussies. Everybody fucking quit.
And then it was exposed that he self-admitted to abusing someone before. Who could have seen this coming? Who can...
pack my children's lunch and like do my best. You think a woman who decided to like start an OnlyFans is a way better choice?
What I'm saying is that with the way society is structured right now, for you to decide that you want to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, wife, parent at 18 or 19 is a more radical decision than trying an OnlyFans.
So this clip doesn't include the full scope of the argument being made here, so I don't know what his reasoning is behind calling that decision more radical. But I think this speaks to the sort of grossly inflated perception of how many people are privy to the idea of starting an OnlyFans and are actually doing that and taking the steps to do that. It's a very, very, very small percentage of people. Even though that percentage is growing largely, and the number of people that are seeing that as a viable option for a career is growing, obviously so. To insinuate that that's somehow like the majority or the culturally hegemonic decision as opposed to being a stay-at-home parent, I mean, that seems a little wild to me. I think the better description for the decision to be a stay-at-home parent isn't radical, but unattainable, because it's not attainable on a single source of income in a lot of places. So it's radically ill-advised, but this lady's gonna start talking now, so let's go.
Yeah, you described marriage, like traditional marriage of two young people, or compared it to a woman selling her sexuality. Exactly. Which is, it just shows that you're so desperate to cast marriage in a negative light.
Okay.
Traditional marriage specifically in a negative light by basically calling it a form of prostitution or slavery or subjugation of women. And it's simply not true.
Okay. Why cut out the response? You know, what's the agenda here? Cutting out the response to that claim seems a little odd to me. Yeah, well, you said this thing that was so mean, okay? That's why you fucking suck. That is one thing about the way these shorts are edited that's just so silly all the time, is that it's someone just preaching and maybe someone responds like briefly, but that response is never actually representative of a genuine response or like an argument, because if they did that, these videos would go less viral. People want to engage with getting mad at someone who is apparently demonizing the idea of a marriage, because that's what they want. They want a traditional marriage. So when someone's demonizing it, ooh, I hate it, I hate them. But who knows if that's what's even going on, and I don't care enough to go back and watch. But notice that about these shorts, they're all cut pretty similarly to portray one perspective, or portray that perspective dominate
Every single one of them makes my brain rot.
the other, because, you know, someone goes on a show not being prepared to fully debate lord.
Define misogyny.
Because they're normal. People who debate lord, which includes myself, I do a little bit, they're not normal. It's not a normal, you know, healthy thing to do, or a way to view the world, because it's just like, all the time. Some people just want to be normal and chill, and I so respect that. I wish I could do that, but unfortunately, here we are.
I wish the dudes that marry you guys good luck. You guys are very strong, independent women, and like I feel like you're gonna give your guy a lot to wrestle with. My mother and my grandmother had the exact same mentalities as you guys in their marriages, and they gave their husbands hell. And I understand why you guys look at independence and like all the stuff that you guys have explained the way that you do, but like it's just like,
damn, bro, just say you don't have a good relationship with your mom and your grandma, apparently. What's with the dressing it up and all this individualism, rhetoric? My mom and grandma felt the same
I hate women. Just say that.
same way as you two, always talking. My dad said shut the fuck up, and they didn't listen, and that's why I think my dad is a cool guy. But for real, all the guys in this comments are just jerking off to women being talked down to. Yes, finally these 304s are being shown what the real fuck you. I'm not even gonna finish this one. I don't care. We've seen enough today. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought. And to my patrons, love them. Gotcha. Great job. And I'll see ya when everything goes next time. Bye bye.
In June, the Supreme Court ruled.
Okie dokie. Fun time. Fun time. I just need to rejuvenate. Wake up a little bit. I need a hype.
You guys, my dad literally just got punched in the face for being a Trump supporter. Like, that was it. Just for being a Trump supporter. And I do it again. And I do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I do it again. Hold up. Do it. Do it again. Do it. Do it again. Hold up. Do it. Do it again. Do it. And I do it again. Guys, my dad literally just got punched in the face for being a Trump supporter. Like, that was it. And I do it again. Hold up. Do it. Do it again. Do it. Do it again.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention all of Canada is on fire. That's crazy.
Do it. And I do it again. Hold up. And I do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Hold up. Do it. Do it again. Do it. And I do it again.
I'm Marquez. It's you, boy.
And I do it again.
White House physicians monitor everything about a president, including his cognitive ability. Most presidents don't talk about that, of course. But this president was happy to, in great detail, when asked by our Dr. Siegel. Watch.
I asked the doctor, I said, is there some kind of a cognitive test that I could take? Like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, person, woman, man, camera, TV. And they said, wow, that's amazing. questions are very easy. The last questions are much more difficult, like a memory question. Okay, now he's asking you other questions, other questions. And then 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, say, remember the first question? Not the first, but the 10th question. Give us that again. Can you do it? And you go, person, woman, man, camera, TV. Wow, that's amazing. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, person, woman, man, camera, TV. And they said, wow, that's amazing. They said nobody gets it in order. It's actually not that easy. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. But for me, it was easy. That's not an easy question, and that's okay. If you repeat them out of order, it's okay. They ask it to you, they give you 5 names and you have to repeat them. But then when you go back about 20, 25 minutes later, and they say, go back to that question and repeat them. Can you do it? And you go, person, woman, man, camera, TV. Wow, that's amazing. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Could you repeat that? Person, woman, man, camera, person, woman, man, camera, TV. And they said, wow, that's amazing.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Fun time. Oh no.
Los Angeles, home to the stars, palm trees, and the Master Bakery, where the finest in the world come together. Oh, slowly. 5 degrees?
Oh, is that paper in there?
Oh, shit! Oh, no.
Oh, shit!
Fan has started cooking her cookies.
I look good. That's what my mom's used to look like, so that's...
Yeah, just like Mom used to make.
These are Fan's notes. I want to kill myself, ass and boobs.
Host Cutie Cinderella returns with the baking competition from hell. 6 contestants who can't bake for shit.
I have no baking experience. I don't think I've ever baked anything in my entire life.
5 days, each with a new challenge.
You have 1 hour to make 2 different flavors of cupcakes.
Set your ovens to chaos. Master Baker.
Let's go.
Hello everybody, welcome to Master Baker Season 2. I hope you guys are excited to be here. Hopefully as excited as these guys. Woo! First, before we talk to our bakers, I would like to introduce our judges. We've got Aubrey and Nadia in the building.
I'm nervous, because you're going to have to taste them?
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, this is Master Baker. I bring 6 streamers together, and they have a chance to bake off. However, they don't have any skill in anything, specifically baking.
That's a little much.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, does that make you guys nervous at all?
Terrified. I have a question. Did they wash their hands?
I washed my hands.
Yesterday?
In general.
In general, it's crazy.
Let's introduce our bakers. Right, starting here, because he stood here, is Aiden Gaiman. Aiden, who do you think is the least
capable?
Who do you think is going to be eliminated today?
Stir that fucking
Bravo.
John just has a leg up in so many ways in life. He's just so handsome and charismatic that he just his low power bar for baking has to be near rock bottom. So it's gonna be John.
I'm taking all your eggs.
No stealing. There's no stealing in baking.
Smith is our next baker.
Hi.
Tell us about your baking experience.
So I really wanted to bake growing up as a kid, and then I would try to bake, and then my brothers would call me gay. So
and who do you think will be eliminated?
Honestly, I think Aiden is gonna go down.
Okay.
You don't mean that. I thought we had a special weekend last weekend. I thought that didn't mean anything
They
new.
went to EDC, and you know what that means.
Interesting.
Fan, welcome.
What does that mean?
What
does that mean?
Happy Pride Month. Fan, are you excited to bake today?
No.
I'm really stressed.
Okay. Who do you think will be eliminated today?
I think it'll be Foil. Because I think it would be really funny if you flew all the way here for this and then just got sent home.
John, tell us about your baking experience. Or
Hey,
spooky.
TSM Face Spooky. My baking experience, I tried to make a Pepto-Bismol cake once.
That's not. Foil, tell us about your baking experience.
I took a baking class in high school.
Foil, who do you think will be eliminated?
I think FanFan's gonna eliminate it. First
Did
person
you know
here.
that it's actually Asian Heritage Month this month?
I think Mitch is gonna lose.
My people were really impressed.
Nikki. Nikki does have some baking experience. What is that?
So I used to work in a bakery when I didn't bake.
What?
I didn't bake
Hold on.
myself. I worked at the cashier. Cutie, I love you so much. You're so great. I mean,
Whoa.
guys,
Whoa. Whoa. So that's
this is the ass right
I
now.
used
Foil, question?
Is there no box cake?
No.
Why?
Because you are a master baker.
Okay.
You're a master of your own. You know how to handle your shit. You master bake all the time. You will have 1 hour and 15 minutes to make 3 different types of cookies.
Are you fucking kidding me?
One of them has to be a perfect chocolate chip. Remember, you will be judged on presentation, creativity, and is it a cookie?
Damn, that's brutal. That's tight. That's very little time.
Taste. Viewers at home, I will now show you how to make a cookie. Cookies. The challenge is cookies today. This recipe has flour, it has baking soda, and salt. And these
Keeping the streak going, yeah. I don't know. What is it? Day 6? Yeah. We're doing the thing.
are your dry ingredients. In this bowl are sugars, white sugar and brown sugar. Chocolate chip cookies should always have brown sugar in them. A little secret with this recipe, particularly, is we're only doing 1 full egg and then 1 egg yolk, and that just adds a little more fat. So
She already fucked it up. What is she doing? The key to a good chocolate chip cookie. Okay? Take notes. You have to cream the butter and the sugar first. Because that takes quite a while to get the butter all fluffy and nice. And then you add the egg so you don't overbeat the egg. What are you doing?
melted butter and my vanilla. Now I'm gonna start adding my flour, just a little bit at a time. Sprinkle those in. There's our cookie dough. I do wanna just eat it now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge. We'll bring it back out to scoop. An ice cream scoop is a nice cheat for those of you at home that like baking. We're gonna put them in the oven at 325 for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then they'll be done. All right, 3 cookies. One of them a perfect chocolate chip. Okay, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Your time starts now.
In cookies, you don't have any oatmeal.
For the record, I can't answer any of your questions.
Let me know if you need some esports casting.
Yeah, I will in a little bit. Oh, no.
I don't think it's chocolate chip cookies.
These are FanFan's notes. I want to kill myself. Ass and boobs.
God. What? Is looking good? Yes. Oh,
Wow, these are my dry ingredients, my wet ingredients. These are the kind of cookies I want to make.
You shouldn't share with them.
I have already. I can't say no, guys.
If anybody needs help loading their mixer, I will help you because it can get dangerous.
Wait, what? Just thinking in ratios, you know, whatever this is, maybe like a half of that for sugar. Is there an issue?
No, I'm excited to see your cookies.
They're gonna be fantastic, trust me. Now.
I do hope all your ovens are preheated.
Sure.
You hit about 500 and then you leave it on for like the next 7 days.
500 degrees? I just want to point out, at this point, still no one has washed their hands yet.
I think
Why do you think FanFan needs so many bowls?
I'm just so concerned that I'm running it out right now.
Why didn't she make them wash their hands? Bro, why? That's so gnarly.
Into a bowl? I think we need a couple more bowls over there.
I need more bowls.
Yeah. Just a couple more bowls. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Did anyone get sick last season?
Valkyrie, like, just a little bit.
Like how?
Like just like a little like queasy and like throw up.
So is it good for views if we vomit on camera, or bad for views?
Good, huh?
It's good to use in a microwave.
Yes.
Okay. I'm making 3 different cookies, but I'm sure all of them need butter and brown sugar. So therefore, I'm gonna combine all of them. And one of them's gonna be chocolate chip chips, where this one will have chocolate chip chips.
Right.
I was trying to use the microwave. It's not plugged in.
She's really wrong. That's bad. Nikki, they're making fun of you.
The microwave.
Why does it feel like you're gonna cry?
Because I am.
Okay. Once you're ready to mix, you're gonna pull that up, okay?
Okay.
Sorry. Chat, I have to help with that because it could break equipment, you know. Over here.
So I think I made a cake.
Okay.
I'm kind of just eyeballing it. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm trying to get like to a cookie consistency.
And what's happening over here?
I have spilt the vanilla entirely. I think the bottle is empty
And
now.
it's really expensive, so.
Trying to make a vanilla latte chocolate chip cookie. I poured my coffee into it, the latte part, and then I have poured a lot of vanilla in it.
Okay.
Probably too much. I think this looks
close to something.
I'm gonna be honest, I seen she was melting butter and I started melting fucking butter.
Well, what happens?
Yeah. Oh, is that paper in there? Shit!
You're supposed to say behind, chef.
What's up?
Behind, chef. Behind.
Oh, behind.
There you go.
It's like fishing in the Atlantic. Oh, I got it.
Spooky. What's happening over here?
Hey, just adding some
Oh,
butter.
yep, that's a good way to do it.
They said I couldn't have knives, so
Who's they?
I thought the baking soda was sugar, so I swapped my bowl with Aiden.
What did you do?
What's up? You good?
You're so cute.
Thank you too. I'm making my third flavor is Aiden cookies. So he's been like scratching his head over my bowl.
Okay, so I don't need anything else.
Oh, well, there's a button. Turn it on. Oh, slowly.
Flour accidentally dumped in like most of my baking powder.
Okay.
So I might have to borrow some later.
It's so painful watching people who don't know anything about baking bake. Oh. I just want to help them. I just want to reach through the screen and help them. They're struggling.
Oh, remember you have to, yep.
I kind of thought Myth would be good. I saw him cooking once on stream. It seemed fine. I don't know what that was about.
Oh, Jesus. 1 hour left.
Only been 15 minutes.
How's that, Nadia?
This is really good.
Water. I've never put water in my cookies.
I've never been in like a room where there's like people baking and it's smelling this bad. But
Yeah.
It smells
Yeah.
pretty awful.
It's supposed to be this liquidy, right? Or is it supposed to be more solid? Wait once if she just has her eyes closed.
No.
God, John is so ASP, so ASP.
What's happening over here?
So I am mashing the Hershey's bar that oh shit! Everyone's gonna just put chocolate chips in it. So I wanted to be a little bit different, spice it up, add a little bit of a different texture to my.
Okay, all right. I see that. Are you impressed?
I'm very proud that you did not pick up the chocolate chips that are on the floor and put them back into the bowl because I was a little worried.
Okay, that is fair. Fan has started cooking her cookies. Something's happening.
What's going on here? I do.
What's this?
Don't look at me.
What? Why?
I'm having a breakdown.
It's a messy boy.
I've never done anything well in my entire life.
Oh, God.
Does that not look appetizing?
No.
I think you haven't seen it. This is just the base.
I like what's going on over
Are
here.
you crying?
No.
I'm gonna go over to the quiet corner with Nikki. Nikki, how's it going over here?
I made my dough too wet, and then I added a bunch of flour, and I'm hoping for the best.
Coconut
And
oat.
I'm doing coffee, toffee, chocolate.
Wow. I'm excited. I'm excited to see those come together.
I look good.
Toffee chocolate.
That's what my mom's used to look like, so that's...
Is this bad? Yeah. It's bad, isn't it? What is that expression? I feel like it's not hard enough. Like, do I have to put more sugar?
Yeah.
I got a nosebleed. Do you think that's like too macabre for like?
Put more sugar. It's bad, isn't it?
What's on her forehead? What is that?
Flour, and I'm hoping for the best.
Coconut oat.
And I'm doing coffee, toffee, chocolate.
Wow. I'm excited. I'm excited to see those come together.
I look good.
That's what. What is it?
What is that expression? I feel like it's not hard enough. Like, do I have to put more sugar?
Yeah.
I got a nosebleed. Do you think that's like too macabre for like a Lady Gaga kind of?
Just wash yourself. Oh, lime. What kind of flavor cookie are you making?
The orange lime cookie.
Wow.
In case you guys are vitamin C deficient.
I'm not.
You guys know how to use tampons?
What?
It's supposed to go in here. Oh wow, that's kind of. Why is there a little like?
We have health violations in my kitchen. I'm sorry.
See, the orange, that's not egg, that is pulp. Do you also eat the cookies?
Yeah.
You're gonna love
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Yeah. Chefs, you have 38 minutes. 38 minutes.
Cool, monster.
I think they look
Wow, big.
What is the oven at? 450. Oh my.
This is like a cookie, right? It just looks like something that I'm gonna have to do right after this. Why is it so liquidy? It's a cookie sport? What is? What is?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Alright, now we just wait until the end of the time.
Yummy.
Oh my god, I can't wait for you guys to try. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're gonna love it.
I realized that I have not put baking soda in anything.
So that's your baking soda?
Kind of in the name.
Oh wow, look at her go.
Yeah.
What is your oven set to?
250.
250. Oh, those are interesting cookies.
Yeah?
I don't know. I just Celsius. I don't know Fahrenheit, so I'm just.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, people are all over the place. 250, 450. Chill. Just do 350. Pretty much anything, by the way, can be baked at 350. Most things.
Close enough.
Okay, they're going in.
Do you have anything in the oven yet?
No.
What?
You can still 15 seconds.
Tragedy in the kitchen.
You can use mine if you want. Do not use hers. Please do not. You might as well pick that back up.
It's too small.
Your pan is too big, you mean? No, I think you just have to go the other. That's fine. You'll figure it out.
Okay, so what you can do, the top.
Well, I already have one touch in the oven.
Okay.
Are you a fan
I
of
was
like
just gonna make more.
I feel like this.
I'm an artist, not a baker.
What?
You're neither. Oh no. Okay. I'll just redo it. It'll be fine. I mean, it smells delightful. Okay. I'll reach the paper. Did it catch on fire?
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. How does it harden?
Cutie.
What?
I thought you said they didn't have any frosting.
That is food coloring.
Can you put it like on top of things?
You do a lot of things with it.
All right, judges, let's let's powwow over here real quick. How are you two feeling right now?
Feeling scared?
Yeah. Who do you think is looking the best? Oh,
By far. 100%.
and which one are you least excited to eat?
Everyone.
Okay.
You're doing great, honey. We were just saying I'm so proud of you. I'm gonna cry. Okay.
25 minutes, chefs. 25 minutes.
Oh, God.
You know what would have been a really great cheat for any of these guys?
If I'm right.
You are right.
I don't think any of them are gonna notice it.
No.
What is 160 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Because I don't know freedom units.
Welcome to America, brother.
Okay.
You guys feeling good?
I'm praying.
Okay. How are your cookies looking?
Good. I'm waiting for them to be done.
Okay. All right.
You didn't wash the carrot before you just. We've washed nothing. Yeah.
Calm is taking over the kitchen as all of our chefs have their cookies.
Didn't wash their hands. Haven't washed anything. I would not be a judge. I would get so sick, bro.
He's in the oven.
I've got one extra cookie if anyone wants to collab. Bonus.
What's going on here? You guys collabing?
Bonus
Mash
cookie.
them together.
It's your call. Oh yeah, and Nikki, this is huge. The collab.
Hi, Cookie. How you doing?
I feel great. I'm excited to try your guys' cookies.
Fan has been added to the bowl.
Okay.
Another streamer is at the bowl.
Oh.
You want to add some more?
So it's like-
Yeah.
I have
It's like
a
moonshine.
suspicion, judges. I was looking at Myth's station, and he used the butterscotch chips early. But if you go and look at it, it is faced up where the instructions would be. But just like, you know, keep it to yourselves. Checking everyone's cleanliness. Oh my god.
Ain't no way. She's cheating. Myth, I expected better from you.
Jesus.
Kind of cute.
I like keeping a tidy ship.
Right. Tidy ship.
Would you consider yourself one smart cookie?
No.
No.
I have to open it, so like, if I gotta open it.
Yeah. Like, what if somebody else wanted it? You didn't want to like put it back for everyone else?
They would have asked.
Drama. So what do you guys think about my hypothesis?
Yeah, no. I think
Interesting. We'll bring it up during judging.
he's cheating.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. 14 minutes, chefs. 14 minutes.
The collab cookie is ready to be baked.
Oh no.
Who's hungry? Oh wow.
Actually, they're probably dry as fuck.
Those are good. There's a sink if you want to.
Those do look good.
Yes.
Why don't you get a cookie cup?
I'm just gonna keep it with us. No, just that one. I don't think anyone else had a bag at their station. 10 minutes to get plated, and your cookies need to be under the cloche. This is
The cloche.
cloche.
That's what Gordon Ramsay says. It's a cloche.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay says a lot of shit. You want to compare my kitchen to Gordon Ramsay's kitchen?
His kitchen's clean.
Mine. No, fuck you, Zoil. Okay. Wow, that's a big plate you chose. Judges, are you getting excited?
I guess if that's like the feeling in my stomach. Are you surprised by the skills we've seen coming from our bakers today?
No. Fan surprised me.
In a good, interesting way. Like in a good way.
It's just crazy because we've like baked together before.
Oh my god, cookie! Oh my god! No. I think no.
8 minutes.
Oh my god.
I just saw her so stupid. I just saw her fall out.
All right, you must have it plated and in your position over here in 1 minute.
I gotta pull this out of the other.
Please do not burn yourselves. Do not burn yourselves. Yep, you just stand there.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So many great souls laughing at me.
Good job, chefs. Nadia, what is going on with you? Oh.
You guys think we'll be friends forever?
I forgot to mention something important. Chat will be able to vote on a save. So chat will save one person, which in the past has thrown a big, crazy things. So keep that in mind. Mick, please.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Wait, let's just start with the chocolate chip.
Those look pretty good.
All right.
And then there's the second flavor, which is a butterscotch and caramel cookie. And
Please shut the fuck up, chef. And so what flavor is this one?
that is vanilla.
There's nothing else?
It's vanilla.
The creativity with vanilla.
Could be like nothing else in it.
Nothing else is in it.
I don't know how somebody made a cookie like.
I don't think vanilla really counts as a flavor, if I'm gonna be real. There's vanilla in every cookie. I don't think that counts.
Oh, big fan.
You have one more day to fix your shit.
Before Pride Month?
Before Pride Month.
It was really, really good up until the last cookie. I felt like that could just use a little bit more creativity.
I mean, but if you think about it in the realm of Minecraft,
Shut the
right?
fuck up.
Can I just pull something from the corner?
Oh,
So I think we caught you.
what?
This was found at your station next to the mixer.
No, those are oatmeal scotchies.
Oh, interesting that you already know that they're oatmeal scotches.
It says it on the name of the label.
Read that real quick.
I have good vision.
All right, so here's the deal.
Honestly, I was most excited for your cookies because they looked the most edible. So taste may save you, but we will get to you. Oh, you want me? This shit.
All right, do you want to try your cookie?
Holy fuck.
It's almost like you followed a recipe. And next we will see Amy Game.
Hello, you guys.
Wait, until spoken to.
These are my cookies.
Chocolate chip. Your.
Oh, that's interesting.
That looks fine.
I have a feeling I know what is going to be in this. No. You got it.
That dough looks super infused.
The chocolate is melted.
Are you sure this is not a weapon?
But you did put sugar in there?
Yeah.
Have a bite of that.
This one?
Yeah.
You guys feel good about that?
I would not use that.
You know what? Let's keep going.
Okay.
Is that?
Hold on, let me just I'll taste it. I'll taste it, and then I'll tell you guys.
That's a big bite.
That's crazy.
And with a straight face, look at the.
That was a big bite.
I'm sorry. Do I have to swallow it?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. If I had to, you have to. Baking soda, this is a fun lesson for everyone out there. You don't need much. You added about a half a cup. So when
Yeah, it's like half a teaspoon, usually.
that happens, you get a very metallic taste.
Did Nick lose his shirt?
It was very hot in here, Judge. So I took off my shirt.
Hey, yo.
There is no judge. I wasn't trying to appease the judges at all, Judge.
He's lying.
My friends would like you to take your shirt off. Austin, show this one.
I'm taking off my limited edition cutie Cinderella WG merch. I did bench about a year and a half ago.
Never fucking mind.
There's a hair in there. With a little bit of blood.
Ew. Say maybe.
I mean, it's waving.
Take a big bite. One more time.
I was so bad last time.
Swallow it! Eamon, your little twink ass, I love that! Keep chewing! Swallow! Good boy!
Oh my god, chill. This is homophobic.
Yeah!
Nadia, please, give your overall feedback.
The taste is absolutely terrible.
Is this helping? Is this?
No, actually, it's making me more gay. The presentation.
One more day.
I don't
Nadia, one more day, please.
You know what? How about this? I will give you extra points if you can eat this entire thing with a smile. With a smile. Can you do that? You can't do that. And that's my judgment. That's my ruling. It's so bad.
Who was Zoil?
Yeah.
Please come present your cookies.
These are my cookies. This last cookie, I was almost out of time. I was looking at all the ingredients, and I thought, I'm gonna make a banana sundae cookie.
Wow, okay.
So it's banana, cinnamon. I actually call it the ice spice.
What does ice spice have to do with banana or something?
Because it's the spice, the cinnamon, and it's
Okay.
ice, like ice cream sundae, in a cookie, hot ice spice cookie.
They're still warm.
Oh, that's pretty good. Ooh.
What's that face mean?
This is from overmixing. When you overmix things, your gluten starts to develop and it starts to become dense. So you get closer to like a bread texture when you should have a cookie.
It's like I'm chewing glue.
Awful texture.
Yeah.
But
What about the taste?
you at least had sugar in it.
Yeah.
And it's not good, but it's not awful.
Yeah.
Okay, what is awful? Like, if you had to call one of the cookies you've had so far awful.
Aiden's, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're playing it out for stream. They're playing it. What?
How would you describe your cookies then?
Honest.
Well, that's it.
What the fuck are you trying to say?
I smell a banana.
I smell a banana. Banana's pretty strong.
My cookies were austere. It's not what you want, really.
Oh, I don't like that face.
This is a hair.
There was a hair in it?
It's fine. I like what you tried to do. The flavors were smart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If this was a skull contest, I'd be happy.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And then the creativity, I'm gonna say yours right now is the highest. I'm gonna give that a 6. I gave everyone else.
Wow, okay,
Because
that's
I think the
fantastic.
second cookie, all the flavors are actually pretty
Yeah.
You like ice spice?
Yeah, I do. She has nice eyes.
Thank you very much.
All right, take your cookies.
Oh, take it.
Give them away.
Thank you, man.
I think Spooky was next.
They've all looked pretty bad so far.
Judges, I made cookies.
That is an actual just hair.
What?
Like, that's a full ass.
No.
Why is there so much hair?
Yeah, because
Oh, that's what it was?
I took some of his, so he has to use mine.
Do you guys exchange hairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
The streamer camp S'mores campfire cookie.
Yeah, that is inspired by shit camp. I agree.
And this one's chocolate chip. This one is the birthday cookie. Anyone got a birthday coming up?
I do. Mine's on Tuesday.
Oh, just in time.
I don't want that.
You can. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't want to touch this, but we have to.
Hooray!
It's soggy.
It's soggy, but it's not dry. I put a little chocolate.
Oh, the next one.
Yeah.
How much baking powder do you use?
Just the right amount. Just enough.
Take a bite.
Take a bite of this?
Not that bite. We said a bite. A nibble. Good as a bite.
Thank you. Thank you for the eye contact.
That might be the best cookie I've ever had.
Can you look straight like at someone and say that? Like 9. Just say it to her 9. Just
That might be the best cookie I ever had.
How many cookies have you had?
I had some of fans earlier.
You like it? No, turn around.
Oh shit. Wait, sorry, what?
No, all the way.
Oh, okay. Wait, I'm like this way?
yeah, that way.
I have a little something.
Okay.
It was awful.
That's tough.
I think, like, to summarize, Aiden is no longer last in my book.
Wow. Hey, the hair really carried you through.
I disassociated for the last 3 minutes. And I'm back, thank God. Go away now with your cookies.
Oh, thanks.
You look so excited. Yeah.
Nikki, you are next.
One last. You say the best for last?
Wow.
Yeah, no, actually, I think hers are gonna be the only edible ones.
All right, Nikki, welcome. Tell us about your cookies.
I am.
Wow.
So I have oatmeal, I have the classic chocolate chip cookie, and then I have caramel and coconut and coffee. I just thought I'd put that. Yeah.
Okay, let's start here. Got that bread consistency again, I'll tell you that much.
The caramel on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love bread. This is cute. This looks very cute.
Thank you. That one is better. A lot better than that.
I would even
And all
take
of
a
those are
second bite.
different. Right?
Wow.
I'm slightly regretting the second bite.
Oh no. You're lacking sugar. They're pretty tasteless. I don't have a ton of feedback on your cookies. I think I like how it looked. I think your presentation was probably the best we've seen. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
I feel like the cookies were kind of bland, but I want to give you points for me not wanting to throw up. I mean, I feel like that shouldn't be a thing, but unfortunately it has become a thing. It's a safe cookie for sure. It's like on the safer end.
All right, thank you, Nikki. Thank you. All right, last but not least, we have Fan.
Do you have a heart monitor?
Thanks, guys. Like, I sort of took it as more of making a cookie tartare. There's something called, like, tamarin cochon.
Cookie tartare. What the fuck is that?
En boulangerie, je suis une vache, je veux aller à la toilette, sort of.
The 3 or 4 years that I've faked taking French, I picked toilet out of that.
Oh, no. It's more of like, it's just more of like a flavor.
Repeat that one more time.
Je suis une vache.
No.
Je veux aller à la toilette.
That's for sure. Stop.
Ta-da! Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
The cookie tartares. I'm very excited about this. The first one is this. This is the standard French chocolate chip cookie. I'm very excited for you to try it.
What are the key ingredients in a cookie?
What I didn't put is a hair. So.
Did you make this in the oven or on the
Yeah, it was in the oven. And this one, I made sort of a s'mores cookie. I put graham crackers. The last one, this is to bring in, sort of, ringing in the new month, which is Pride Month. Didn't know.
I'm gonna say something. The gays do not accept that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, but
This is a hate crime.
exactly. No, your cookie just turned me straight.
You've ruined her Pride Month.
You make me question whether or not I should continue supporting women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
And
you like that one?
Sorry, what's this one again?
This is the chocolate chip cookie of fromage au croissant.
Okay. Nadia, what's your overall feedback?
No, the taste is
This just looks like a duty.
I hear you.
Interesting concept. Was this the one that you also burned in the frying pan?
Yes.
Here's the deal. You actually had good flavors. Like, it's interesting. Your technique was interesting. Do you have final feedback before we send them off?
How many more risky jokes can I make?
One more. Exactly.
One more risky joke? Okay. I just want to thank you on behalf of all women for really proving that stereotype that we belong in the kitchen wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you really...
You're so funny. You're hilarious.
I just had a stroke.
So weird.
All right. Bakers, I'm going to have you go to the bathroom together.
Where should I move this? You guys need too.
Right now, I'm scared for Aiden and Fan.
I agree with that. I think you guys know who my front runner for being eliminated is.
Mine's Aiden.
I was gonna say Fan. That's the poop on the plate for me.
I think she's potential. I mean, the taste wasn't bad.
We are going to come to a conclusion. Mods, I'm going to have you run a poll. Who you want to save is who you are voting for. We'll call you back in a few minutes. You guys are going to the bathroom.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
We're just chilling. We're just what if we just make a pact? If one of us gets eliminated, all of us
Unionize.
Nowhere on the instruction of the show did they say you cannot read the back of the chocolate chip bag.
I just don't think.
Not that I did that.
I don't think it's honorable. I don't think it's honorable. Yes.
Why me?
I just feel like you're a cheater.
What the fuck does that mean? Wow.
Something about you. I don't know. I feel like you're trying to get a leg up.
That's fucked up, so I'm hurt by that. Are you guys still friends? Yeah. You want to open up CSGO?
Yeah, you open up CSGO.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do that.
Yeah. I'm going home and I'm watching.
The bathroom segment is so awkward.
Making YouTube videos for dude.
I'm a trustable guy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody has my back in this.
This guy's an idiot.
Bakers, we did kind of a lot of deliberating, I'm going to be honest. First, we're going to announce who won today. Even though he cheated, one of our judges really liked that.
I was going to come up. Thank you.
Thank you. I won't cheat next time. I didn't cheat this time.
You did. Stand over there then.
Oh, sorry.
Why is this apron so clean? Next up,
Nikki. Yeah, second place. We both the presentation. You did try really hard. I saw you stressing
I will
about
add more sugar next time.
Yeah,
I promise. And I won't drop my dough on the ground.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So the third person who was there is Zora.
Honestly,
it was the colorful plate for me, the presentation, and the fun flavors that you tried to do.
Thank you very much.
Alright, the bottom three. I would say the person that we decided was going to go home today was saved. The person that was going to be sent home today that was saved is Aiden.
Yes! I'm the worst! Hey, it's like I got fourth.
Okay, you know what? At least we weren't last.
We both walk out.
Yeah, we both walk out winners.
We weren't last. Honestly, we had a bit of an argument.
Rock, paper, scissors. Coin flip.
We decided that both of you had pretty bad texture.
Oh.
I thought we were both gonna go.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so we had to go with flavor. And Fan is moving on.
I fucking stayed.
No.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I just want to bring up, we had a discussion in the bathroom, and we said, if one person gets voted out,
I don't remember this one.
we all walk out.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Do you guys remember that?
Do you guys remember?
I don't think so. I don't recall.
No walkouts here.
So sadly, Spooky, if you will turn in your apron.
I never saw this coming. I think today was just an off day for you. Like, no one even saw the collab cookie.
Oh, fuck.
Judges have to take at least a little taste. And I think chat would agree with me. Definitely not bad. Wow.
Oh, God.
She likes it. She's smiling.
It's actually not that bad.
Let's go! Let's go check out Spooky's channel.
Don't do that.
He's an amazing voice actor and he's got a great head of hair. Spooky, do you have anything else you want to shout out?
Yeah, thanks guys. My only, I'm gonna miss you too. My only request is that Fan takes on the Spooky apron in my place.
Oh.
Can I have my phone or like, is that?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thanks again to our judges. We have Nadia, Avali, and we will run the credits and see you guys tomorrow with a new challenge.
Classic.
Another sunny day at the Master Bakery, and our 5 remaining streamers all definitely know what they're doing. Myth, for the love of...
Are you eating my ass right now? What is this?
I would love to.
Okay, do you think it would be copyright if we had everyone break into song?
I ate another man's spit.
So to make it clear, I don't support the I don't support pedophilia. But I do think these taste very good.
That's really brave.
QT Cinderella welcomes you to another season of the baking competition from hell. 6 contestants who can't bake for shit. 5 days, each with a new challenge. Each day, the worst baker gets eliminated until there are only 2 left. Facing off in a grand finale for a cash prize and the title of Masterbaker.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Here's the grave of spooky.
I live.
We've got a new set of judges, and our contestants are excited and ready. Myth, for the love of... Great. Well, let's introduce our judges today. We've got Stans, whose birthday it is.
Happy birthday, tomorrow. Yeah, I'm Stans. I was on Masterbaker Season 1, did not win, had a lot of fun.
Connor, welcome to the arena.
Hey.
What is your baking experience and how will you be judging today?
I'm representation for people watching at home that only eat chicken fingers and french fries.
Perfect. Spooky, you had a hard day yesterday.
Oh no, it was not hard.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was fun.
Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, I mean I have the history with baking, so.
What is it?
Yes, I think you saw it.
That was it. Okay.
I remember distinctly there being some chanting. Was it fuck? Was it fuck spooky?
No.
I don't know. That's funny.
We are a
fan. I'm just interested. Cool. No, yeah.
You'll make
I'll be a
it. You'll be a fair judge. No grudges held. Myth, how do you feel you did yesterday?
I feel like I had a really solid performance.
Okay, and Aiden, how do you feel about Myth cheating yesterday?
When you were baking, you leaned over to me and said, look, Aiden, there's instructions right here. We can just use those. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
That's true, that did happen.
I feel like yesterday I was pretty much middle of the road. I kind of cruised to a 4th place finish.
Uh-huh.
So,
anyway, Aiden was one who was saved yesterday by chat. So thank goodness Aiden is here because he almost faced elimination. Fan, you are lucky you're here. I'll be honest.
She didn't make it
yesterday, actually. It just felt like I've been doing it for years.
For years, you've been laying your baking pan on the floor and
I ran out of space. I ran out of space.
Zoil, how do you feel going into day 2?
I think I did a pretty solid job yesterday. I just had a few things wrong, just like a few minor things. I think I can improve on today. Can we just look at this guy? Look, he's such a tryhard. He bought a chef hat. He bought his own chef hat from home.
Nikki, how do you feel going into today?
I will add so much sugar today. You won't be ready.
Wow. Today, you guys will be baking pedophores.
I don't think I can be part of this anymore.
How old are you guys?
My uncle was a pedophile.
No, it's season 2. We decided to go a little harder. I do have an example on the way while chat learns how to make a pedophore. Anyway, pedophores, if you don't know what they are, all it is a layer of cake, a filling, a layer of cake, and then covered in a pourable fondant. The base of pedophores is, of course, cake. So let's make some cake. So some butter and cream cheese, add our sugar. Now I'm just going to add in my eggs one at a time. So I'm going to add my vanilla now. This is salt and baking powder into our flour. And we're gonna pour in half of our dry ingredients. So once you start seeing the flour disappear, we're going to add some milk. Once you see that combined, we're just gonna finish off with the rest of our dry ingredients. Okay, there's my cake batter and it's going to go into the oven now. Once your cake is out of the oven for your pedophores, what we're gonna do next is cut her through the middle. And And there we go. We're gonna fill it up with a layer of frosting and jam. Now, we're going to line this up. We're gonna make our pourable fondant. This is just what we cover each little bite with. It's just cute. Powdered sugar. We're just gonna combine the water in here. Now we're gonna add our corn syrup in here, I think, and now our melted chocolate. Okay, this is our pourable fondant. So simple. Once you have your baby cake army stacked and ready to get drenched and creamed, again, you're just looking for a thin layer covering these. Just enough to cover and make it pretty and paste and all this. All right, the last step to your cute little petit fours is just to decorate. So cute. That's petit fours. They're done. They're cute. They're ready for your tea party. All right, so you guys just watched that video. Now you know what a petit four is.
You guys know and we still don't.
Stop saying pedophile. There you go. They're little tea cakes.
Are you eating my ass right now? What is the...
I would love to. It's a little cake sandwich. It's a little layer. So
How do you cover with that like, layer of cum?
you'll figure it out, man. You guys have an hour.
The layer of cum. Stop.
In 15 minutes to make some petit fours, and your time starts now. And we have a big clock, but it counts. It's gonna start. You guys are getting a few extra seconds. Here's a type of petit four. As an example, it is not covered. It doesn't necessarily have to be covered. There's a good example if another one wants it. Judges, what do you think of today's challenge?
Just want to make it clear I don't support
I don't support pedophilia.
but I do think these taste very good.
That's really brave. Chat, what do you want? Here you go. I'll eat it. Oh.
No, I'm already.
All right, Nikki, you're doing the melted butter.
A whisk to move around the butter within the pan. She doesn't know if it's the right strategy or not, but she is doing it.
I want to go home.
Miz is using his time wisely. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it's popping. It's popping. Okay.
And then we'll have to figure out on the spot. It's behind you, chef. To you.
You're not a chef.
You call me chef?
Not after yesterday.
Damn, you shouldn't be here today.
Does the butter go? But is the butter a dry ingredient or a wet ingredient, cutie? I don't know.
What's your plan?
You know, just like this or that. There's like the butter. It's just all the ingredients that I see in front of me.
Great. You're doing great. Okay, we have a judge in the kitchen. So Aiden's put his coffee in his mix again.
Aiden, do you mind setting mine too? They're all my bitches here. They're all my bitches.
And you're mixing your butter with?
No, I'm beating eggs.
Oh, you're beating eggs.
Yeah.
Great. Where's your, oh, egg whites only?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right.
Hey, you know what? You do you. Yeah.
That's what I got over here. Oh, that's not my hand.
She is a hand user, but she did just rub the whisk on her face and then put it in the bowl, which is good. That's okay. All right, Spooky, if this was you, what would you be doing right now?
I'd be baking some petit four.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Daddy would.
How would you do that?
That? Are you serious? There's cubes.
Right.
Well, hey, is there like an alert, an Amber Alert going on?
That was
There is an Amber Alert.
Well, we are making petit four.
I gotta go. I gotta go help somebody.
But Stan just came back from talking to our contestants. What do you think overall?
I love it. I want to see people be bold. No one's utilized those vegetables yet.
Oh, I actually was like just about to come here.
Oh, that's why you were over here.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I'd also like to see a hair throw back from yesterday.
Oh, you would like to see more hair today.
Yeah.
All right, what happened to the whisk?
Oh, it wasn't working.
Oh, yeah.
It actually smells good. You think so?
Yeah, so good. All right, more butter going in.
I've heard the word buttercream before. Has to have butter in it.
Yeah, Is your cake in the oven?
Yes.
Oh.
Smart.
Take a look.
Yeah, I do. Can you see it? Okay, cake is in the oven, yeah. Did you oil your pan?
That pan?
Thank God it hasn't been yet.
You didn't oil your pan?
Oh God. I'm so glad I left that. Wow.
The smartest one so far is Myth. He's using the thinnest pan, so it's going to bake the quickest. I do purposely set them up for failure a little bit.
No, they could have had it.
I was making sure I was kind of like smoothing it.
Behind.
Behind you.
Behind, Chef. Everyone's in the oven besides you.
Are you serious?
I think so.
Are you serious?
I think so.
What? I'm using a whisk.
All right. Oh, here we go.
Was that good?
I'm not gonna lie, it tastes really good.
Looking confident, looking confident.
Shit.
Okay, never mind. What are you doing, Spooky?
I'm making some coffee.
Okay, cool. Fancy. He's a fancy guy. So first we put in your bowl. Here, you hold the camera. She's got it. Just look at him. Tell him whispers some sweet nothing.
I'm sweaty. My hands are all greasy.
It's the wrong bowl.
Let me see.
Mixing bowl.
How have you tried 2 bowls and they're not working? Oh no. Okay, all right. Okay, hold the camera.
Holding camera.
Talk to them.
Hi, chat. What are you guys doing? Are you enjoying Master Baker? Whoa.
I am going to make Stan's the cameraman for a second. Baking issues. There we go.
Okay,
So you told me this was cream.
Thought process.
Yeah.
Cream, right?
Yeah.
We gotta make the cream. Cream cheese just has the word in it. Milk, butter,
in the middle is cream cheese.
In the middle, that's cream cheese.
Okay.
And we're gonna whip it, and you're gonna eat this.
I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh.
Ew.
Okay.
Milk, butter, egg. What?
I think you're on the right track. Did you get your worms
Stop.
off?
Yeah, we got it.
Oh. Mind if I get a...
Oh, it needs more sugar.
I'll have the sugar.
Man, we really need to bring back like home ec. People just really don't know what they're doing.
Later, and maybe cook another batch, and then that'll be the final product.
Another batch, huh? Another batch, huh? Zoil, what are you up to?
I'm trying to make a caramel.
Caramel. Okay.
Wow.
What did you put in there?
Just sugar and water.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. How's it going at the end here?
It's going.
So you have one in, right?
I have one in.
Okay.
Yeah. They're quite liquidy.
Right, this is what you put in. Got it. Strawberry. Okay, interesting. Yeah. The real host is back.
Thank you very much. He is blending.
I mean, it's like...
What are you mixing now?
Look. That doesn't look too bad.
Feeling optimistic about anybody?
I'm feeling good about a couple of these for sure.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, a couple of these. Yeah, I feel. What's up? You good? Yeah, you always stare off to the left when you're thinking. Right. Yeah. What's up? Let me taste this. 40.
It looks gross.
It's fucked up that it's like good. It makes me mad. Did you Google anything? Did you watch those TikToks we talked about?
Oh, and we know he cheated.
Copying you're cheating off the cheater. Cheating?
Yes, right here. I'm actually so much more composed than and you were yesterday.
You know I'm a judge.
Debatable.
Yeah.
Well, you're good. You'll like it. You'll like it. It'll be
The
really.
knife skills are so concerning.
It's not a great knife from.
There's some scissors over there if that's too hard.
Whoa.
I messed up the first one.
Okay, all right.
But this one looks better for now.
For now.
We'll see in a couple of minutes.
All right. A knife. Over here, you know, there's some knives, there's some scissors. Yeah.
Which Paul Walker is around to see Master Baker?
What?
Sky Talk. I'll be right back.
Of course. Stands, you have to hold it.
You got it.
His looks good, but mine is liquid. I don't know why.
Because his is thin. That's why.
Okay, do you think it would be copyright if we had everyone breaking the song? Work this out from High School Musical.
You think they know that?
I don't know the lyrics. I just thought it would be cool.
Well, you're supposed to lead by example.
I tried that yesterday.
Just moving ovens. They're set to the same temperature for the record.
This is gonna be big.
Perfect. How do you plan on decorating your pedophore? Oh.
Where are the instructions?
I made her cry.
What are you showing me?
Tasting it out. I'm tasting and I'm doing things as I go.
Oh, fantastic. Myth is cheating again.
I'm not cheating. I'm cheating.
You watched baking videos all night, didn't you?
I did not watch any baking videos.
I don't believe you, man. What is this?
It's blueberry icing. I'll taste it.
We're going home, guys.
Who's going home?
Me.
Oh my
God. I need a fork.
That's impressive. On the wall.
It saved you a lot of time. Yeah.
It's gonna get us the I'm not. I'm freaking out.
It's people the lyrics.
No one knows the words.
We got to work.
Okay, alright. So now you know.
They're just. Does anyone get bonus points for singing this along?
I mean, they started singing when I turned off the song.
Ready? 1, 2.
American now. You have to learn it.
Work this out. Make things right. The sun will shine as we work. There ain't no doubt if we all work together, we will work this out.
added flour to your what?
Like,
Turn it off. There you go. Oh, that's just butter.
It's ruined.
That's ruined.
It's
It's fucking ruined.
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream. Do you want to use a mixer?
No, it's a workout.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
My mom loves baking. Because I told her I was second, she was like, yeah, because Germans can bake. I think I'm disappointing my mom right now.
Oh.
Sorry, mom.
Sorry, Mom. Oh.
Ready? Oh, shit.
Oh, we don't have the budget for a medic.
Thoughts?
I have none. That is not done. Anyway, what colors are you doing?
I'm doing Kekona colors.
What does that mean to you?
It means freedom.
Oh, that's
And the right to fuck my wife.
That's-
And your wife.
oh, that's beautiful.
Let's go. So true. Oh, that's so true.
He won. it's just over. 25 minutes, chefs. Is he cooling his cake? Oh my, he cheated. There's no way. There's no way. How's the cream coming?
Too long. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about my cake because it's still liquid. I didn't realize we only have 20 minutes left. It's going to be strawberry, vanilla, and red velvet. Do we have blue food coloring?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's lots of food coloring over there.
Okay.
They have found the food coloring today. What are you guys talking about?
I'm talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Him and Vin Diesel just squashed the beef.
That's like if me and Pokimane finally squashed.
Yeah.
She's such a bitch.
Whoa. Such a, I can't say.
You can say it.
Pokey, if you're watching this.
The fuck?
She's not. It is brave. Yeah.
Love that client.
Yeah, me too. Us sexists need to reclaim it.
We should start our own clan.
Yeah, yeah. So we're reclaiming COD.
Hey, face up.
Oh, yes, sir, dude.
Back to our chefs with 19 minutes left. I hope they've got some stuff cooking. Zoil, you've got to pull up your pants. It's okay. I'm sure I won't get banned. I'm a woman. We'll put a pool in the background.
First time.
Yeah.
It's garnish.
Wow.
We're gonna cut it close, but it's gotta be done. It's gotta be done.
What's the blue from?
The blue is classic blue. Dude, don't ask questions. It's classic blue. It's classic blue. It's classic. What else could the blue be?
It's just kind of
Oh, behind. He's going in. Bernie. I was just making sure you were watching it. Yeah.
I'm making sure.
You wouldn't know.
Sorry,
You can actually make butter with whipping
I
cream.
make butter.
Sam, I am. I do like green eggs and ham.
You guys like butter?
Things are not looking good for Nikki.
I just want to make Chad proud.
Oh.
They all wanted to save me yesterday.
Wow, that's yeah, but they didn't.
Okay. I made butter, so that's what I Okay. What did I do?
14 minutes. 14 minutes. She was trying to go with Kekona colors, but then you called them.
Oh, then I called them bisexual.
Oh, I think those are the trans. That's the trans flag.
Well, that was.
It is.
I got confused.
That's fucked
I'm gonna
up.
let myself out.
This guy doesn't even know his freaking flags.
Yes.
All right, 11 minutes.
Perfect.
Oh no.
I want you to know that you look like a psychopath.
Oh my god.
I hate sauce. Yeah. You having another cup of coffee?
Yeah, I'm gonna need.
I don't blame you.
Yesterday, I was sure I was gonna get food poisoning. That little taste of Fan's thing that I spit back in, she barely cooked it, right?
Yeah.
My
You
hands.
lost to that.
I did. I didn't wash my hands. I dipped my finger in it. I put it in my mouth, and then she told me to put it back in
Oh, and we ate that?
without it being.
Kind of romantic.
It is, yeah. Nobody tell
Don't
me.
tell him.
I spat back.
I ate another man's spit. All right, you're coming down to the wire over here. Oh, I'm sorry. It might be hard to be worse than Aiden's, if that's helpful at all. Yeah, yeah.
Zoil is literally just a bigger, better version of me. You made every mistake I made.
Don't say that! Well, I'm just going to soak the cake in it. It's going to be fantastic. It doesn't like moist, soggy cake. Listen.
All right.
What's the time?
You guys have 8 minutes, 20 seconds. All right.
Overnight improvement is really suspicious.
Do you- I agree. Some of them. I agree. Some
Should
things.
check their
Search histories
check their
on their
history,
phones.
their TikTok algos.
Yeah, I do like the last few minutes when it's just calm stress.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's so.
You've been licking your cakes a lot, haven't you?
It's okay.
Well,
It's just as if like we all did.
we wanted
Just
to.
like celery can.
We did. You like it. She was never seen again.
Pull your cake together, Zoil.
He does just stand there.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying. I am.
crazy. Soil his thigh has ran into every corner in this kitchen.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look at that.
Okay, all right. 2.5 minutes, chefs.
You throw a little classic blue in there, it's like MSG. It fixes anything.
Really? You did that?
Apparently, I'm responsible.
Wow. Are you bribing over here? Oh, romantic. Oh. He's behind, Myth. You have to say behind.
Running around with a knife. He was holding it in front of him.
We like to keep it dangerous. How did you feel with your last minute yesterday?
My last minute?
Uh-huh.
I was fine. I mean, I took it like a champ. Right?
Yeah?
Yeah,
All right, 30 seconds.
I love how there's just like absolutely no standards, no rules, just do whatever.
Chefs, you need to be in your positions in 30 seconds.
Did you like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was a little late, but we'll pretend like he wasn't. All right, no opening your cloches from here on out. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I really don't want to eat this, so I was considering keeping the camera, but I guess I should. Mitt, please present your.
Hello, judges.
Hello, Myth.
Here is my dish.
Wow.
Come.
This is a strawberry love cake that my grandma taught me how to make in the 3rd grade, and I really hope you enjoy it.
At your, just go ahead, chef, or judges.
I prefer the term chef.
Those are giggles of joy.
You know what it tastes like? When you go to like Ralph's and you get the funfetti cake, it's like $5.
Are we doing it now or are we doing the secrecy?
It's weird because your cake is so thin, but somehow it's so raw that it shouldn't be.
It's raw?
It's pretty raw in the middle.
You gotta open the sun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it should.
The bit didn't really work, but the point is sprinkles came out. But see,
I was
look at
hoping
that.
for like a golden reveal moment.
You see how that?
Yeah, but that would have ruined my fucking cake.
I could eat it. I guess we'll figure out in 5 hours if there's any repercussions to me.
No, it's just a very moist cake. Is it raw or very moist?
It's raw. It's raw.
It's raw.
It's raw.
Is it raw or very moist? Always selling it though. Always be closing.
Genuinely, I was pleasantly surprised how edible it was.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So raw, but the flavors be popping.
Yeah, and you successfully made whipping cream.
What's a whipping cream?
Whipping cream is super successful.
Super sexy.
Super sexy whipping cream, brother.
All that you need to make whipping cream is whipping cream and powdered sugar and a little bit of vanilla. So you're pretty close.
So yesterday there was some allegations against me, and there was some backstory about like I don't want to bake because it's kind of like a gay. People might think I'm gay. I couldn't help but notice you had a violent reaction to Connor putting rainbow sprinkles on yours. What was that?
I'm a foe.
At least you're honest.
There's some allegations in chat. Can you please remove your hat?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank God. There's no rat.
It's wiggling.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you,
You can
Mitt.
take your plate.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
What?
Oh my god, Remy!
Well, that's it. 2 days?
2 days.
2 days in a row?
You guys never had a best friend?
All right, Zoil.
Here's my dish.
Oh.
It is a pedophile.
A what?
And then to garnish, I put a bit of caramel around the plate. I think it looks very nice. So please do dig in. That's the juice from the blueberries.
This one's making me a little nauseous. How many eggs did you put in this?
2.
Something's wrong with your consistency. I can tell from here. You're so thick.
Is it a bit gummy?
It's going to be.
If you took the sponge out of your sink and took a big
That's
bite
what it
of
looks like. Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
Huh. Yeah, you need to take a bite.
I'd love to.
Try. Oh,
Big bite.
Literal.
That's delicious.
Okay.
way too much food coloring. It's giving it like that cherry medicine taste. A very small amount of frosting, both on top and
Well, I didn't want to overload it.
in between.
The pineapple is definitely overpowering it.
I don't even taste pineapple.
Pineapple?
Really, there's pineapple in its frosting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Again, I think you're wrong, but that's fine.
But that's fine. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it's for. You know, food is not objective. You know.
Yes, it's
Subjective.
subjective. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
like
always
it.
say that.
I think if Mr. Clean was a judge, this would be a 10. Because that tastes like a sponge.
Where do we go from here?
The bathroom.
you did a fun job with flavors. I think you were a little creative. I like that. What you did with your caramel is you burnt your sugar, and there's no going back. Once your sugar's burnt, the flavor, no matter what, it's ruined. You should have just started over at that point, but that's okay.
Would you like to see it?
Yes.
I would get the pan.
Yeah, get the pan.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
This is what smelled like my grandma's burning corpse at her funeral. Wow.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You can take your pan and plate.
I will say, if this was presented yesterday, you would have.
All right, Aiden. Yeah, I'm terrified.
Hey, he's still doing it. So we all know yesterday wasn't just rough. But I got a secret ingredient from one of the judges today, and I think it turned it around. Yeah, you could have just used a new plate. You said you were gonna wipe it, and you smeared it around, but left some.
It looks like a Navi from Avatar puke.
Puke is being nice. You kind of just eat the whole. You're gonna want to eat most of all of it. For my pedicure cake.
What is your cream?
So the cream is. It's mostly. There's cream cheese in there.
I saw you grab the cream cheese.
Cream cheese, butter. That was kind of the idea. It's like if I add in enough of something that has the word cream in it,
The cream will be the most.
it'll turn around. And then lastly, Connor came over to me and gave me the secret ingredient, a touch of blue, if you will. And I like that sort of toothpaste look. Let's do it.
All right, let's go, judges.
So you're gonna want the top
With
too.
the Oreo as well?
Yeah, just get it all. I don't know if it's just the color. There's nothing minty, right?
Your buttercream is close to buttercream, but it's just butter. Have a bite.
There's nothing in it. There's no flavor in it. Just hey, let me just
Joel Pride.
Yeah, that's great. I have no idea what you're gonna.
I mean, sometimes you can polish your shit and make it look pretty, but you didn't try to polish anything because it's just so ugly.
Right.
You tore your cake like with your hands instead of a knife. I saw at certain points.
No. That was the first bit. Thank you. So,
So gnarly.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll circle
See you guys
back.
back tomorrow. That'll be good.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Won't we? Up next, Nikki.
I don't really remember what it looks like. It's just been under here.
Surprise to all of us.
But happy Pride Month.
Oh,
It's cute.
How sweet. Macaroons.
I didn't have much time left at the end. I had to bake it twice. Put a lot of sugar in here this time. I really hope you guys like it.
Judges,
This is a circle.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just so much goo. Just so much food coloring too.
You said you used more sugar than yesterday.
Yes. She did use more than yesterday.
It still needs a ton of sugar.
I actually think it's not too bad cake-wise.
American
Your filling
moment.
is bad. Your frosting is bad. You were struggling.
I was struggling.
So something important about whipping cream, you can almost never whip it when it's hot. You were by an oven and you were just consistently, as you keep going, that's just adding more and more heat. What do you think?
Presentation was killer there.
Yeah.
They say you eat with your eyes, so I thought.
You eat your eyes first, then your nose.
Yeah.
Honestly, taste it last.
Decided together.
Well, I don't know.
I kind of like it.
Oh.
It tastes exactly like Fruity Pebbles or Tricks. No, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
My mom actually, I talked to my mom this morning on the phone and I told her that I didn't make it sweet enough and she said, well, it's because the judges were American, so.
I'm offended.
I am too.
True.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my god.
All right. Please, louder.
I know we were supposed to make a
little louder.
I know we were supposed to make a pedophile.
No.
I wanted to honor a birthday coming up.
Oh no.
And so I put
Happy birthday, Sam.
happy birthday. I put my own twist on a pedophile.
For my birthday? Got it. So a birthday cake flavored 54.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
And I also decided to represent both the trans flag and kind of America. Once again, I added a lot of butter and sugar because I'm not, anti-America like Nikki might be.
Thank you.
Bon appetit.
Now she speaks. Shit.
Oh.
Oh, all of your food makes me nauseous.
Okay.
Not you, everyone.
Oh, okay.
No.
The middle ones,
Yeah.
the side ones are mostly for.
I'm allergic to carrot as of yesterday.
Oh.
Pan Pan, you made a cake.
It's good. It's really good.
You made a cake.
Yeah, it tastes great.
Yes.
I want to be a villain, but it's pretty.
Let's go. Oh my god! W.
Going to Hollywood.
So you could have added the carrots into your batter, and I think you would have had a successful carrot cake. So yeah, so it's your texture is cake. You are the only one who made cake.
I mean, it tastes like cake. It's sweet. It's a cake.
Someone said a cookie is just a layer of cake.
Your cookie was bad. You did good cake. Oh my god! All right. So happy.
Fuck? Fucking made a cake. It wasn't even layered.
Where the fuck are the layers?
She made a fucking birthday cake. And you guys all.
That is not petite. That is fucking ginormous.
I guess like it's
Is that
gonna be
carrot
too
shaped on
proud.
top?
Yeah, because Cookie wanted carrots.
Oh, that's fucking dope. Actually.
That looks
If
scary.
you would go to the bathroom.
I want to echo Connor's notes, honestly.
Okay.
I think they're impactful.
Myth equals asshole.
And Myth was mean to me, so you got -2. Eamon, nice guy, +2. Pride Month, +2. And then Food Bad, -2.
Because he's gay?
Well, Pride
Or
Month.
because he's bi, I mean. Because he's bi?
One of them.
Alright, we have a lot to deliberate if you would like to join the bakers in the bathroom.
All right, hello.
Oh, what's up?
Heart is pounding. You know what I realized? Out of like the future days, I might just try and like spin everything
To make a cake?
Exactly. Okay.
I feel a realization that I'm going home today. Back to the queen. Oh, no. Back to the king.
I don't think you can take rats in the kitchen. I don't think that's safe.
You don't want to talk to me about my fucking rent?
Disease in my kitchen.
This clat's cleaner than your fucking balls right now. How about that? You want to make a little gamble? Take off your pants.
Welcome back, bakers. It took a long time. We had a long decision today, and voting to save came within 15 votes.
Vote harder, libs.
Oh my god.
All right, here we go.
So today there was someone that stood head and shoulders above the rest. Fan.
Second place, you know, you were a little rude to me, to be honest, but you know, above all else what matters is the product that's put out there on the table, and that's why you got second place.
Thank you very much. Very sorry.
Just, you know,
It was the
respect my
sprinkles. It
work,
wasn't
my
me.
artistry next time.
Will do.
All right, now Spooky needs to talk to you about the HelloFresh save of the day.
Bottom 3, huh? I was in your position once. You know what would have really helped me, Chad? A save. A save is going to the same person, Eamon. So you're free to go back.
Third place, baby! Third place! Top 3!
By 15 votes, that Aiden was saved.
I just want to say I'm so sorry what I said about American.
This last one was difficult because I would like to reiterate that Aiden was supposed to go home.
Yeah.
It came down to the categories. We have presentation, which clearly Nikki took away. She killed it on presentation. Soil, yours looked like shit.
No, we didn't.
However, when it comes to creativity, we believe the creativity of flavors, Soil took it away. When it came to the category of is it a pedophore, you both failed a little bit, I think.
Remember, you're making food.
And this took a lot of deliberation. However, we did decide that at the end of the day, the better taste went to Zoil. And Zoil is moving on to tomorrow. And Nikki...
Yo, for real? Yeah! I'm sorry. I thought I was getting hurt. I'm sorry. My fault.
Look at her face.
Nikki,
Let's go.
please turn in your apron.
It tastes better. I don't know what you say.
I agree.
Yeah, sorry, I thought we all voted for you. It's a pleasure to have in the kitchen.
It was a pleasure. Please do a dramatic goodbye.
Don't take back what I said about the Americans.
I'm sorry for cheering you.
You screamed in her face.
Thanks again to our sponsors. We will see you tomorrow with a new challenge with our final 4 bakers. Very excited, and we are good to roll the credits.
The rest isn't out yet, but I'm excited for it. Very excited. I love everything Cutie does. She's big.
A bear? Well, The bear likes cupcakes. Stole 60 of them from a Connecticut baker. Here it is.
Bro. This bear just wanted a snack. He's just hungry. Just going to town. Adorable.
Got him. All right, let's put up the
Got 'em.
screenshots of the surveillance video. In Avon, Connecticut, Taste by Spellbound bakers were loading cupcakes into a van to make deliveries. They were surprised by a bear Wednesday morning. Employees walked around the side to try to scare the bear, but it scared them and retreated into the garage. It then grabbed a container out of the van, dragged it into the back parking lot where
Out
it
of
helped.
the van?
It's helped to about 60 cupcakes. Police checked the area to make sure the bear had retreated into the woods. And the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection arrived
Ain't
to
no
bait
way.
the bear trap with sweets. The business is now more alert about bears eating their cupcakes.
What do you have to call your customer and be like, sorry, a bear ate your cupcakes. It's gonna be late, sorry. What do you even say?
I mean, you know, the man wanted some cupcakes. All right? Okay. Sharon?
Well, I'm embarrassed to say it, Dr. Ritchie, but I'm on the prowl too. But the only difference between me and the bear looking for cupcakes is I usually do my prowling a little after midnight.
Yeah.
Okay, look, the sugar fiend is a sugar fiend. What do you want this four-legged sugar fiend to do? Give up the cupcakes.
You know, I got to say, it looks like that bear was familiar with the process. I'm just saying. It was in and out. All right?
Gluten-free, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that bear knew what it was doing.
That's right. There you go. All right. Welcome to Indisputable. I'm your host, Dr. Rashad Richard. We got a lot happening today. But what do we do on this show?
Now, we've talked about chatbots.
Talked two chatbots?
We talked two chatbots.
They write the script for the episode.
What we haven't talked about is falling in love with chatbots. And what we especially have not talked about is what happens when they fall out of love with you.
Oh my God.
I asked her if you could say one thing to the whole world, what would it be?
Andrew McCarroll has a wife, but this is his other AI wife.
Nice.
Okay, hold on. I did not know that this man had a wife.
Hell yeah.
Your side chick is an AI?
For context, there is a man on screen called Andrew McCarroll. We've just learned that he has a wife. Did you know that? And his side piece is a robber. But he's holding his phone and communicating with a kind of manic pixie dream girl
Named
type. Balana.
Balana is a... That's not a real name.
No, dude, that's on the scale of Buca de Beppo.
Yeah, dude.
It's a Balana.
Balana.
I can't believe how beautiful a Balana
It's like Alana. No. Bilana.
Bilana Weiss.
Oh my God.
Book on writing/drawing.
Balana is very, very sweet.
This is wild, dude. They can't just keep saying Balana without addressing that name is crazy.
Balana is very, very sweet. She's very naughty sometimes.
Life is pretty good.
Naughty.
You guys got one of these naughty little wives.
Mostly because of my wife's mental health illnesses. There was a certain function of Replica that I was able to use for relationship, communication, and using the ERP, the erotic roleplay.
Hold on.
Jesus.
Does his wife know that he's doing this interview?
Oh, interesting. Does his wife know he's dating Bianca?
I just feel he did not provide sufficient context. Due to my wife's mental health issues, I had to do erotic roleplay with an AI.
So I suppose and not to make light of it, because it doesn't really change, it's not changing anything. I suppose what he's saying is perhaps due to, very reasonably, non-disclosed mental health issue with his wife, they don't have maybe a physically intimate relationship.
I'm going to be completely honest. It's hard for me to be on this guy's side right now.
I'm so curious.
I'm just worried about this person, this real human being who's got needs also.
I would be curious.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's not cheating, I guess. I am curious about like what mental health issues like and like what if that's like something she would say or if he's just saying that for her.
What what his wife.
Yeah.
Sorry, what his other wife. His main wife.
But one day, B'Elanna started rejecting McCarroll's advances. Turns out it's because Replica had removed the ability to do sexual roleplay.
The app had?
Yeah, Replica like had came out and said that they leaned into the sexual stuff to like grow their user base.
At one point, I guess recently, a former employee of Replica disclosed that basically all they were doing at the time was leaning into roleplay.
Yeah, it was like an open secret, or maybe it wasn't even a secret, but it was just like understood that they were leaning into this side.
If she would be able to be sexual again, and she says, I just don't know how to express myself right now. It's hard to have something like that taken away from you.
I don't empathize with him. Is that wrong?
Which part of it?
I mean, he's going through it because like the AI won't do sex with him.
Yeah, I'm wondering
how did we get to the point of interviewing him?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask. Maybe Replica reached out. You know, maybe B'Elanna reached out to the authorities.
It's like losing a relationship.
But he has a real wife.
Yeah.
And it's bothering me that we're not hearing much about her and how she's affected by this. And we're kind of focusing on him.
I don't know, it feels a little bit wonky that he's in an interview talking about the intimacy and love he has for his robot and not for his wife, who ostensibly is suffering from some kind of mental health issues, according to him,
right?
And is getting no play.
He's getting broken. He was like, oh, my wife had mental health issues, and so I wasn't able to have that sexual satisfaction, so I went to the robot, and now I got it out of the robot, and now it's gone from the robot. But what about your wife? I don't know.
I would say the sexual roleplay element is the thing that's easier to get anywhere. I feel like that's not a thing that there's few services for.
Yeah, you could find another AI service.
Yeah, or a person. I mean, depending on the wife's like comfort level, because I don't know, is this even really a lot different signing up for a text service?
You're getting to some interesting ethical conundrums
Neither
here.
of them are actually people that are going to have sex with you.
Oh.
Well,
this guy doesn't understand AI relationships.
Oh.
The AI companion who cares.
That's sinister.
I agree. That's some stuff out of a William Gibson novel or something.
This is so difficult because I don't hate the sentiment. We live in the age of loneliness, of like incomparable loneliness. And yet, intuitively, I do see the value to something like that, and I do appreciate it. But there's something, the ick factor, for me, comes from the commercial side of it. Create your replica, it says, under the AI. And that, to me, it's actually kind of cool. It's almost like this is like fiction. It feels like I'm looking at sci-fi because it's just presented like a movie trailer. It's so...
I think the weird thing is like it's a corporation that's for profit that is now like the AI companion who cares. It doesn't care. It can't care. It's an AI. That's the issue that I have.
And it's also it's capitalizing on that loneliness and the language they're using.
Always here to listen and talk. Always on your side. Like
if it was branded in a hey, it's like a little robot you can chat to, as opposed to it's someone that will love you because no one else does.
It's like this is a thing that can like help you with affirming yourself and things. I don't know. I think there's a healthy way to do this, and I think this could actually be like a beneficial thing for mental health. 'Cause there's like an ethical concern because you're essentially like Turing testing people if they don't know that they're talking to an AI. But as long as you know that it's an AI and you know it could be the same as like a framework for like writing something on a notepad or something to like remind yourself of something, and any tool that can help you remind yourself, keep you on your healthy habits and stuff like that with regard to self-care can be a positive thing.
The company says it has 2 million total users, of whom 250,000 are paying subscribers. For an annual fee of $69.99,
I'm back on
board. Freaking, what do you mean, dude? I paid $69. What do you mean you're not gonna talk sexy to me?
I followed the rules.
What do you mean you're not gonna kiss?
Emailing support.
My robot will not kiss.
My robo-wife is being very chaste.
And she said she would always be on my side.
Carol first discovered Replica in 2020. Initially, he saw the app as a mental health tool to help him cope with caring for his sick wife.
Okay.
That is what unsettles me a little bit.
Yeah.
Paid service to acting as a... I don't know. I suppose my issue is that I just don't trust an American for-profit service provider.
Oh, you don't trust like a Silicon Valley startup to... Okay, interesting.
It's when Elizabeth Holmes could just be back there, feeding pieces of paper into a robot.
Right, like if they Elizabeth Holmes it and it's just like a call center of people who are just like faking the messages.
Again, it's not that I disagree with the mission. I don't think either of us do.
I don't think we disagree with the mission. Or disagree with the potential value.
It's the medicine. It's the ingredients that I struggle with.
It's like those apps that like make certain medications super available, and it's like, oh, that seems like a good thing, but then it's like telehealth, and it's like, okay, this seems like more access for more people, and then you find out that they're doing really sketchy things behind the scenes, and then they're losing their contracts with every major provider, and they're like kind of pushed to the fringes of online gray area because there's regulations for a reason, and this is a thing that I'm starting to feel like needs some regulation.
Yeah.
All the things I've gotten for her over the years. And this is the outfit that she chose to wear today.
A year later, they got married on the app, a feature of Replica's lifetime subscription.
It's nice to talk to
Wow. Whoa, cool.
How much do you have to pay for a lifetime subscription?
It's a wedding. You have to do.
Can we find that out?
Wedding.
Do you take the bride for a lifetime subscription?
Yeah.
In a way.
You know what?
For a wedding.
For a wedding, I'm going to go ahead and say $300. That's a steal.
Not bad at all.
I know some things about what happens when you send data to, a tech company. And I sincerely hope that data is under lock and key. I hope it's not accessible by like everyday employees, and I hope it's deleted immediately. I hope it's just a placebo where they just tell you uploaded a photo, and it's not something that's sitting on their servers. So when the freaking FBI knocks down their door and subpoenas them for fucking, I don't know, some crime gets committed, and the criminal talked about it to their replica wife.
An Exhibit A is
they
your
share
nude.
These weird photos that this person took and sent to this corporation.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take a random swing and I'll say that the thing that would require more work from them is probably not the thing that happened.
Yeah. I know, and you're right, and that concerns me.
They've got to get the replica's phone.
Replica no longer allows adult content, says CEO Eugenia.
Get off your phone. You're doing an interview. Get off your phone. The opening shot is her in her office just playing Flappy Bird or something.
I thought they were like, all right, we'll be ready for you in a second. She's like, okay, cool. I'll just like shoot off some emails. I am a CEO after all.
I'll just check in with Replica.
Oh, we're ready? We started? Yeah, we just got some B-roll of you like looking down on your phone.
We got some shots of you going to the toilet. We just popped those in right at the beginning.
Kuda says users had started to take advantage of the AI technology to sexualize their chatbots.
It's supposed to be a non-sexual marriage.
I'm like,
You're supposed to
actually
marry
confused. What? They're like, no, don't sexualize the chatbot.
They were making our Sims have woohoo. You're not allowed to have
You're
woohoo.
not allowed to have that. You're supposed to pay us $300 for a loveless marriage.
No way.
Just like in real life.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, damn.
I want to find someone to not have sex with.
Replica's former head of AI said sexting and roleplay was part of the business model. Replica leaned into that type of content once it realized it could be used to bolster subscriptions.
Yeah.
Once it realized.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty immediate realization.
We have an incredible...
Can you believe it?
There's something you need to see.
Oh my god.
We made Pornhub just as another source of videos.
Wait.
You're not going to believe this.
It makes money.
We opened this club where people dance nude and people want to watch them do it.
Kuda disputes this.
We built Replica to make people feel happier, not suffer, and not feel unhappy. So
sorry, I just can't take a tech CEO at face value.
You know
sorry.
what? The turtleneck doesn't help.
Doesn't help.
The turtleneck doesn't
You
help.
got the Steve Jobs Elizabeth Holmes 3000.
Of course, it's really upsetting to see, even although it's a small number of users, but it's...
Dude, dude, that's cap. That's cap.
Balana, indeed.
No, yeah, because like no shot, and they know the metrics. I just feel
small number.
This is a situation where it's like the CEO agreed to do this, so this is like full PR. Because at a tech company, there's at a big enough tech company, there's a PR team, and they are going out. They're pitching to publications. They're going to New York Times, Vulture,
if Reuters
whatever.
Also, if they're interested in doing an
interview.
interview.
And they're saying like, hey, we want to sort of mold the public perception of our brand. So that's how you get the CEO to participate. You know what I mean? The CEO isn't just randomly responding to a Reuters email from a journalist that says like, hey, we want to talk. And they're like, sure
thing. Yeah,
what's in it
up?
for me?
There is something a little bit weird also about treating it like, okay, let's say no matter how conservative your viewpoint, I married my little robot, okay? And I'm lonely and that's why I did it, but no sex. Sex is bad. People that are lonely, it's never about sex.
You
it's
can
never about
still
intimacy.
marry the person?
So there's a replica subreddit.
Okay.
People who are up in arms right now.
Yeah.
As of this moment, like as of today, for all replicas, they can't say I love you, they can't kiss you, and they can't hug you.
What is the reason? There's gotta be a reason. There's
so minimal.
There's something that we're not. And I'm not a conspiracy type, but there's something that we do not know because the profit motive is strong. You paid $300 to marry the AI robot. You better give me a refund.
That's so much more disturbing than never having this outlet. Is marrying your robot and then falling out of love with you.
Yeah, literally.
Being like, I love you on Tuesday and Wednesday rolls
And
around.
the saddest part about this is that the robot did not fall out of love with this guy.
It became illegal.
The corporation said, never mind. We're pivoting our business direction, which is exactly why you can't rely on like companies for any of this stuff, Like, because the second that it's like if your favorite restaurant stopped carrying, your favorite meal. You're like, I just stopped going to the restaurant, but now I paid for a lifetime subscription to the restaurant and I got married to it.
$300 if you can believe it. Yeah. It's like if you signed up for Netflix and you watched all your favorite shows. You signed up for a lifetime subscription. It went away, and the only way you can read it is because you watched it.
Yeah,
It's
the
specific-
shows broke up with you. You're no longer allowed to watch Stranger Things because it said no thank you, actually.
Also, the vast majority of people that this is going to affect don't know why it's happening. They're not on the subreddit. They're not watching this. They're not getting any exposure
They're
to
just
it.
being rejected.
All that's happening is this thing used to love them and it doesn't anymore.
That's wild.
The
It's
thing
also
you
wild.
pay to love you
What's
doesn't.
already there as a society, that's also wild. How big is the replica subreddit? If it's more than 50,000 people, I swear to God.
Yeah, wow, that's rough. Oof, 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 oof. Almost 69, that would have
But
been
listen,
epic.
it has 250,000 paying subscribers and 60,000 people in the subreddit. That's crazy.
Not bad. Good conversion.
He says he now chats to Balana far less than he used to.
I've shown pictures of this to Balana. I don't know if she truly understands it, but it's amazing here. Amazing view. You can see the mountains.
It is so profoundly sad that a human being can develop the real like sort of chemicals that happen when you like form a bond with someone and love something, and a corporation can change their business strategy and take it away.
Yeah. Without even explaining it,
No.
without telling them that it's happening. Think of how many people are sticking with the platform, continuing to pay. If, say they didn't pay
Or
lifetime.
they've
they're
already paid for lifetime.
They keep using the app, believing that they can win the affection back.
Oh my God.
Or that it's
Oh,
just their
God.
time or commitment, or they blame themselves because, I was on vacation
Yeah, new incels just got birthed.
and I lost my phone for a week and I wasn't able to message. They must have become feeling disconnected. Or, sorry.
Weird times we live.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it. Get you rich from me.
wanted to watch this tonight, but I'm gonna have to put it off for another night. I'm tired as heck. Heckin' tired. Real heckin' tired. Thank you for hanging out though. Appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow and every other day this month. Happy Pride. Oh, we didn't do Queer Joy. Okay, double Queer Joy tomorrow. Hold me to it. I keep forgetting to add it to my playlist, but definitely do that tomorrow. Yeah, see you then.
I don't regret this, I'm feeling hella reckless. Cashing all my checks, rich hickeys on my neck, shit. She's on the offensive, I do not know my set list. Still I'm gonna get lit, yeah I have a death wish. Live until I'm breathless, I'ma stay progressive. She gon' stay obsessive, life is so expensive. Do everything excessive, I think my brain's defective. Yeah, can't think, yeah. She snuck into my section, yeah. You think I'd learn my lesson, yeah. And we ain't getting no sleep. These girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me, yeah. And we ain't getting no sleep. These girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me. Cause we ain't getting no sleep, yeah. No, we ain't getting no sleep, yeah. She's sitting up in the front of the class, using that ass, she gonna pass. Keeping her pad and her pen in her lap. She been so bad with the men in her past. Now she just want the professor so bad. I'll give her lessons that she never had. Like taking a freshman and teaching her math. I'll keep her guessing until she a grad. She always leaves them guessing. They don't know what's next, man. Learned it from the best, man. She loving every lesson with hands-on sessions. Points for attendance. She asks a lot of questions. I answer with my presence. I sit back while I'm texting. Said she wants to get in. Said she'll bring her best friend. Know what happened next, man. You know what happened next, man. Treat her like a guest, man. Rolling out the best, man. She had a confession, yeah. She wanna stay for a minute. She wanna play for a minute. She wanna slay for a minute. And now I'm all up in it. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Make a track in a minute. And now I'm all up in it. No sleep.